Honestly, man, I haven't been watching that debate, man. I've been making videos and stuff, so I have no clue what's going on with that debate. Um, we're gonna get into it. No rain here, man. It's all right here, man. It's all right over here. It's all right over here. It's all right over here, man. Got a great show for you guys today, though. Um, we're gonna get into all of it, man. Mm. Who saw the debate, man? Who watched it, man? I'm gonna have to bring you guys up early, man. 'Cause I haven't watched it. I didn't see a second of it. I didn't even see any clips yet. I know they're gonna be saying Kamala won no matter what. No matter what how she did, they're gonna say she won. So I gotta watch. I gotta watch it for myself. And if Trump won, they'll never say he won. They may say it was a stalemate or something. If Trump won by a landslide, they're gonna say, "Well, it was just it was, I think it was even. There were no winners tonight." I feel like both sides walk away feeling like they did what they had to do. So yeah, man, you know how they do. Mm. Let's see. Let's go here. Hit the like button. Share this, man. Share this stream. Hit the like button. Why is Dana White trending? This debate has completely changed my opinion of Donald Trump. I'm now more willing than ever to vote for him. I would crawl over broken glass to vote for Trump. I would jump off a plane to vote for Trump. I would allow white people to bring food to a black barbecue to vote for Trump. I don't want a friend. I want a real president. Vote Trump 2024. Damn. Wow. This AI is mean though. That's some mean AI, boy. Woo. George Floyd is trending. Why is George Floyd trending? George Floyd killed George Floyd. Let me do a poll, man. Let me pull up a poll, man. Let me pull up a poll, man. Um, I spent all that time making that video on this channel today. I put it up and only got 459 views, man. That's why I do clips on this channel. When I make videos anymore, man, they don't get no views, man. Um, YouTube's messing up the algorithm, man. Let me do this poll, man. There we go. All right, it's up. Yeah, they openly biased. That's the crazy part. They not like secretly biased. They're openly biased at ABC. That's the part that's so dangerous, and everyone just accepts it. We accept it as a country. Okay, these news channels are going to be biased. We've accepted it. That's crazy.
Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The president of the United States, you'll get him out of bed. You'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll say, come on down to the office. Let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight.
Why are we allowing these millions of people to come?
He told her to go down there now and do it. That was crazy. Go do it now.
I didn't think I was ever going to witness a debate as devastating as the one that you and Dana moderated back in June, where Joe Biden basically tanked his reelection campaign. I think tonight was just as devastating. I think that Kamala Harris pitched a shutout on almost every subject I can think of. She shut Trump down on abortion. She shut Trump down on January 6th and democracy. She shut him down on national security and turned to the former president and said, the military leaders who served with you think that you're a disgrace. And then, as Dana mentioned, very powerfully at the end, made the point that she is the candidate of change. And we need to turn the page from a decade of division and polarization. On substance, I think she pitched a shutout, and I think she did on style as well.
Look at her. She happy. He lied to her, man. The bar is so low for her, and everyone, we all agree, we all cool with it. Just like we're cool with the news, with the stations, the news entities being biased against conservatives. We're all cool with the bar being in hell for Kamala. If she stays upright, she wins.
Not the world.
have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you. Not the world have
They say that after they put him on trial in like 50 states with trumped up charges.
Big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out. Big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
I love that he's not scared to talk shit to women. He don't give women no special treatment. I love that.
Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
That's right, man. Just go ahead and throw it all on the wall, Trump. Salute to Rabbit Hole Reviews. He says, America will be the next Yugoslavia. We are too smug to think that won't happen here. Keep grinding out. Yeah, man. Salute to you, bro. Make sure you take the $5 challenge, support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat.
home ownership, knowing not everybody, the values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work.
Yeah, illegals. You by giving illegals down payments on a
Please. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out. She went out.
I'm getting over a cold right now, and I can't even laugh. Oh, I can't laugh. Oh my God, y'all, this is so hilarious. Oh God, y'all. No, I can't. This is hurting me to laugh because I'm trying to get over a cold. But this is absolutely hilarious. She did not see that. This is why we love Donald Trump. He said, "I'm speaking," because y'all remember she did that with Mike Pence. So she thought she was gonna be able to use it again. Does that sound familiar? Oh Lord. Oh, I can't, y'all, I can't do this. I gotta get over this cold. Somebody send me some vitamin C. Send me some hot tea. Oh,
Yeah, man. I like the way he be putting women in their place. Put put her in her place. This debate they don't have a lot of clips out here, man, for the debate, man.
Want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name calling. Let's turn the page.
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
As she called him weird, the first thing her and Tim Walz did when she announced her presidency was called Trump weird. That was the first thing she did. The projection is such a useful tactic because they accuse you of doing what they're doing.
We have to move on. President
Want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name calling. Let's turn the page.
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy. Let's turn back to policy.
Too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother, too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
Mm. I don't see any clips. Where are the clips at? I don't see any clips, man. What are the damn clips? Everyone hit the like button, man. I don't see any clips, man. Let's see.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women,
Are you his daughter?
No, I'm not.
and fast cars.
You should from now on address me as the mayor.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man, this place. He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women,
Are you his daughter?
No, I'm not.
and fast cars.
You should from now on address me as
Willie Brown was a bad motherfucker, man. Shout out to Willie Brown, man. Willie Brown was a bad motherfucker, man. Blacks only really look up the drug dealers and shit like that, but Willie Brown was a bad dude, man. He was a bad MFer, man.
the mayor.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man, this place. He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women,
Are you his daughter?
No, I'm not.
and fast cars.
You should from now on address me as the mayor.
If ever
Man. Wow. Everybody's going woke, man. Everybody's going woke. Everybody's trying to get a piece of this woke pie, man. Going into the election, man. Everybody's going woke, man. Friends. So they needed a black character on Friends, man. Jeez. Next they're gonna say Seinfeld. Next they're gonna say George Costanza should have been George Carter, man. And Elaine should have been Alicia. Salute to LRS, Big Larry in the building, man. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, man. Get the algorithm. Get me in the algorithm, man. Hit the like button, man. Get a brother in the algorithm. Yeah, homies. It should have been called Homies. This is such garbage, man. No one cared about that stuff back then. Back then, no one cared that there was no black characters on Friends. No one cared. You never heard anything like that back in those days. No one ever mentioned that. Said no one ever in the 90s. But here comes this guy, man. He gonna set us straight, man. He gonna show us where we went wrong, man. Yeah, he part of the crew. Yeah, Adam Goldberg. Yeah, man, Adam Goldberg, man, stirring up trouble, man. Stirring up trouble, man. What's your face just died? Didn't what's the friend that just died? This one right here. He just died of an overdose. And you gonna come and do this shit. His body ain't even cold, man. His body ain't even cold, man. Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry's body isn't even cold, and this goddamn miser is coming doing this shit, man. His goddamn penny pincher is coming doing this shit, man. Come on, man. Have some damn class, man. Have some class, man. Salute to Rabbit Hole Reviews, man. He says Friends and Seinfeld are peak 1990s. Sons had their shows with all Sun cast during that era. Facts. That's why nobody was complaining, man. Nobody cared, man. We had our own stuff, man. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man. Wasn't no white people on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We didn't care, man. We had our stuff, man. Martin, yeah, man. Wasn't no white people on Martin, man. I still watch Martin, man. I don't watch the TV anymore, but if I'm somewhere and a rerun of Martin come on, I'm watching it. Y'all had Saturday Night Live. We had it Living Color, man. In living color, you can be what you wanna do. In living color. In living color. Walk on stream, float like a balloon. You see, it's never too late or it's never too soon. Take it from me. It's all right to be in living color. Know what you feel, thinking everything's obsolete, and all mankind dwells to the exact beat. And at night, it was safe to walk down the street in living color. Can do what you wanna do in living color. In living color. Yeah, man, we had our own shows, man. We had Living Single. Y'all had Friends. We had Living Color. Y'all had Saturday Night Live, man. Yeah, man. Y'all had 90210. We had Boys in the Hood. Yeah, man. It was all good, man. Y'all had Steel Magnolias. We had Soul Food, man. Yeah, Moesha, Sisters, the Parkers, Girlfriend. Some of that stuff came along a little later, man. Chappelle's Show, that was a lot later. Yeah, Family Matters. It wasn't no white people on Family Matters, man. Urkel was the Urkel was the closest thing to a white person on Family Matters, man. It's a strange tradition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. A tradition of a family kind. Some even say it's even harder to find. But there must be some magic juice inside of these humble walls. 'Cause all I see is personality, real love bursting out of every scene. Days gone by, gonna fill our love with happiness. I know I messed it up, man, but that was my joint, man. Def Comedy Jam, yeah, man. Y'all had yeah, we had Def Comedy Jam, man. That was the joint, man. Yeah, man, we had y'all had Growing Pains, y'all had Family Ties, we had the Cosby Show, man. What this Penny Pincher talking about, man? Why does Penny Pincher start trouble, man? You an evil dude for that. Look at his eyes, man. He got some evil eyes, man. You dude just look evil, man. Starting trouble, man. Salute to Frank Aceman, man. Yeah, we even had Fat Albert, man. We had black cartoon characters, man. It's Fat Albert. Yo MTV Raps, Rap City, man. We had all that stuff, man. What is this dude talking about, man? Why is he doing this, man? Because it's election season, he trying to rile black people up, man. Why you trying to use our emotions? Why you trying to get us emotionally charged up about some bull crap, man? You ain't right. You a bad person for that, man. You know we susceptible to that. You gonna use it to try to use us to get us mad about something. That ain't nothing to get mad about. You ain't right, man. You a bad person, Penny Pincher. And they pushing this Tyreek Hill. God. Uh Yeah, they try to make Tyreek Hill, Malcolm X, man, George Floyd and whatnot, man. They try to make Tyreek Hill the next George Floyd. That go to show you they need that stuff. They need that, man.
Because I have a very great take on this.
What's your take?
Damn. Okay, but no, seriously, it was perfect, like seriously unfair.
Yeah.
Proper protocol was not executed. And, yeah.
Do you want to say that? Do you really want to do it?
I can say that.
Okay.
I can be,
Okay.
flicker,
Can you come away from the sign so it looks like it's sticking out of your head? Let me just look at her and not the camera.
Look at me the whole time, and we'll keep it. The best advice is keep it like tight, like 15 to 20 seconds, so we don't have to chop up your words.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll ask you questions.
All right. Okay.
If you don't mind, state your. Let me turn this on.
Oh, that's a good idea, huh?
Go ahead and just state your first and last name and tell us what ward you live in.
Yes, my name is Jaleel Carson, and I live in Ward 8. Whatever.
Spell your
You don't
name.
have to lean in. You're okay.
All right.
Just stand.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Jaleel Carson, Jaleel. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Just
keep
stand up.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Jaleel Carson, Jaleel.
Mm-hmm. Last name.
Carson.
What's the importance of you being out here tonight?
To show my support and solidarity with my brethren. You know, this was a very sad, unfortunate event that occurred the other night.
You watched the body camera video?
Oh yes, I couldn't wait. Actually, it was horrendous. But yeah, I just felt like proper protocol was not executed at all. I really wanted to hear all of their steps, but obviously they don't disclose that information to regular citizens. But hey, I guess it's the normal day in the African Americans' life. Hopefully not after exactly.
Thank you
Please
for your
need
time,
that.
Mr. Carson.
Yes, thank you.
All
Your
right.
name was
Nana.
Nana.
Yes.
Okay.
Take care. Thank you. You ready?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you come
I'll
down this
just
way?
switch. Yeah,
No,
you can come
actually, you're good because both of the girls are on that side.
Okay. Cool. So just look at me and we'll have a brief conversation. Like, don't look at the camera.
All right.
State your first and last name and spell it.
Levon Williams, Levon.
Okay.
Common spelling for Williams.
And what ward do you live in?
I live in Maryland.
In Maryland. Okay, so what brings you out here today?
I would like to know the policies and procedures of the officers. I want to know what type of training do they do in police academy to deal with these types of situations of an unconscious male. I want to know why a police officer felt comfortable enough to get close enough to a male alleged suspect with a firearm. Why would an officer get close enough to him, Brian, instead of keeping a safe distance, identifying himself as an officer, and then giving a command to either put his hands on the steering wheel or put the gun out the window and drop the gun,
So a lot of questions. Seems like the community is asking for transparency. I know right now when we ask police, they say right now it's under investigation, so there's not much they can share. But once the investigation is complete, they'll have more answers. I know that doesn't really give you what you want to hear right now.
Oh, I got the answers.
Okay.
Because we got the video.
Okay.
I don't understand what, an investigation is still ongoing for when you have video. Video is worth more than, anything they could tell me, I just want to know the protocols
and procedures.
I want to know why a supervisor told them to stand back, and then they proceeded,
To the car.
to the car.
I have to ask you, what do you just make of the turnout? We were here when it first started. It was peaceful. We want answers.
Right.
It was people asking questions like what you're asking. What
Right.
are your protocols?
They came out here antagonizing people.
Okay.
They came out here antagonizing people.
Do you agree? How did it get here? Because I turned my head for a second. We were working on our report. and I see police in.
So that is some of what's going on in DC right now. Let me show you the body cam, man. And make sure you hit the like button, man. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Let's look at the body cam.
As we come on the air tonight, we are learning more about the death of a D.C. violence interrupter, Justin Robinson, at the hands of D.C. police.
His family agreed to the release of the body-worn camera video from officers, and tonight...
If you remember the other day, the family saw the body cam, and they was like, nah, we don't want to release it. Then they changed their mind. They changed their mind. Let me drop the link, man. Hit the like button, man. Smash that like. Smash it. Don't even smash. Bash the like button. Bash the like button.
As we come on the air tonight, we are learning more about the death of a D.C. violence interrupter, Justin Robinson, at the hands of D.C. police.
His family agreed to the release of the body-worn camera video from officers, and tonight MPD posted it, nearly 40 minutes worth of it.
Yeah, our Katie Lusso went through every minute of it along with our team here. And Katie, what are some of the key takeaways?
Well, there were a total of 11 shots fired, 10 shots from one officer and a single shot from the other. Tonight, we are seeing the body-worn camera videos from those two officers and also hearing from Justin Robinson's sister, who told me tonight she is both heartbroken and outraged. Now, we do need to warn you, this video is graphic and may be hard to watch.
These are the moments 26-year-old Justin Robinson was shot and killed by D.C. police. On Sunday, September 1st, D.C. police responded to a McDonald's drive-thru on Marion Barry Avenue in Southeast for a report of a vehicle crash. They say they found Robinson unresponsive inside this white car with a gun on his lap. Here's what the chief says happens over the next 10 minutes.
The officers were clearing the area of any individuals or individual persons or bystanders who may have been around. They were also using their police vehicle to box in the individual's vehicle. And they were also attempting to create a plan on how they would respond or engage when they were notified by other officers that there was individual movement inside the car.
After that, one put his gun into the window that Robinson appeared to have started to roll down. The chief says this is when Robinson is accused of grabbing the officer's gun. In this slowed down video from MPD, you can see a red circle around what police say is a loaded gun. Police say that gun was in Robinson's left hand and that he used his right hand to reach across and grab the officer's gun.
MPD is there to protect and serve. They failed to protect and serve.
Ma'am, they there to arrest and investigate too. Yeah, like Cook County said the other day, man, they got to take that off the side of these cars, man. Protect and serve, man. What do you think about that, Fisherman?
I'm cool with that. It should just say hands behind your back.
Protect and serve.
Don't move.
Yeah, exactly. Don't move. Freeze. Freeze.
Freeze, son, Terry.
Protect and serve.
Trilisha says MPD failed her brother Justin.
Why was there no urgency to make sure that we're rendering aid?
She says he always wanted to be a community activist and became a violence interrupter for Cure the Streets.
He always had a smile. If anyone would talk about him, they'll say that when they see him and then when it's time to depart, they'll say, I love you, and he'll say, I love you more.
She says she doesn't know why he crashed or why he would have had a gun on his lap, but she and their family attorney say they don't believe he was grabbing for the officer's gun.
Mr. Robinson seems to be waking up to a gun that's inches from his face. I think he's trying to push a gun away from his face.
He said, "I'll shoot you in," before the shots were fired. Once he was rolling the window down. Why did you place your gun in the window and then tell him that? And like I said, no aid was rendered. If you thought that he was slowly waking up, all of these things leading up to his death could have been prevented.
Now, I asked the chief tonight if it's standard protocol for an officer to put their gun in a window that close to someone in this situation. She said that's part of the investigation. So what comes next? Well, the U.S. Attorney's Office is investigating, and once they're done, it'll get investigated by Internal Affairs at MPD. Both officers remain on administrative leave.
A heartbreak for this family. And
we're following breaking news tonight on DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Tran.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Protesters are gathering in Southeast DC. They originally gathered outside the 7th District Police Headquarters, but right now they're at the McDonald's, where a man was shot and killed by police last week.
And just yesterday, police releasing that body cam video from those two officers who shot and killed Justin Robinson. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live there in Southeast.
So, Daniel, what can you tell us, and how big of a group of protesters is this?
Chris and Susan, a very large group just marched from the District 7 headquarters to the McDonald's where you said Justin Robinson was shot. They have been chanting all night, no justice, no peace, I'm asleep, don't shoot, referring to the...
There's a lot of thugs out there, man, a lot of felonies. And a lot of
you seeing what I'm seeing right there in the middle, though?
Yeah.
What's
she working
Justin
with?
Robinson was appearing to be unconscious before police arrived on the scene after he crashed that car. I just spoke with one person here who said they are here tonight really in peace. She said they are here because they want answers. She told me that she watched the video. She's just a person in this community, in the Southeast community, who is upset by what she saw, by what she says is injustice. And so she was telling me she wants Mayor Bowser to speak. She said she actually wanted to hear from the officers. We know that will probably not happen, but there is, of course, as you can see, a very large crowd here. Police are on the perimeter. They've closed off a couple blocks around this area as these protesters were marching here. There's a police helicopter overhead just monitoring this situation. But you can see right here, everyone kind of standing around, intermittently chanting, again, no justice, no peace. A lot of people upset about what they heard and saw in that body camera video that was released just a little more than 24 hours ago.
Now, the onus is on y'all, man. It looked like it's a lot of different dudes over here, sections and different, like, it's so dangerous over there. Like, it's kind of like Jamaica and shit. So it's like different groups of dudes could be up there and see other groups that they got problems with and something to kick off.
One could only hope. I hope they burn the whole damn thing down. Fuck it.
The onus is on y'all, though, man, to not shoot nobody down here, man.
We're live in Southeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC.
This is not what the Melungeon founding fathers
right now, as
envisioned.
protesters have gathered outside police headquarters there in Southeast DC.
As we showed you in the top of this newscast, started earlier today, the crowds protesting the deadly police shooting of Justin Robinson last week. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live there in Southeast DC outside police headquarters.
And Daniel, you've been monitoring the situation. They've been going back and forth from the McDonald's to the headquarters, and you're there at the headquarters. What's happening now?
Yeah, Susan, this situation has taken quite a turn just in the last few minutes here. You just saw that woman right behind me who appears to have been possibly maced in the face. We do know that there have been eggs thrown. This started right after you saw me a little bit earlier at 10 o'clock. The protesters here were throwing water bottles at the front door of the 7th District headquarters. And then there were two people that I saw with what appeared to be 2x4s also hurling them at police. At first, the police were just standing their ground right outside the door.
That's a big motherfucker in the middle.
District headquarters there. And then what happened was police started coming down from this way. There were dozens of police cars that were coming up this way. And then people started throwing things at them. They started throwing water bottles and eggs and all kinds of things. So they started throwing
Get out of the
things,
camera.
and then everyone backed up. What you can see right now is that the police on the roof of the 7th District headquarters right now, they are announcing that it is the 4th warning for people to disperse. You can see right to the right, there are a line of dozens of police officers, 2 people sitting on the roadway right now. So there are a lot of people who are angry. For the most part, for the most part, the crowd has dispersed here. But guys,
Gotta
we'll
move
send it back
around.
to you.
They were shooting a hip hop video.
I'm telling you, man, this is.
But first, we have to get to some breaking news we're following in Southeast D.C.
Yeah, for a second night, we're seeing protests over the death of Justin Robinson. He is the man who was shot and killed by D.C. police earlier this month after crashing a vehicle into a McDonald's.
Yeah, our Katie Lusso has been monitoring the situation in Southeast D.C. all night. And Katie, tell us what's happening out there right now.
Well, as you can see, things have definitely taken a turn out here. What we saw earlier in the night were peaceful protests, people chanting Justin Robinson's name. And I do want to mention, as we start this conversation, that Justin Robinson's family spoke through the Harriet's Dream organization and said they wanted anyone protesting in Justin's name to be peaceful. And that is what we saw going into this earlier tonight. But I want to bring you up to speed on what is happening right now. You can see police officers in riot gear. They have surrounded a group. We are outside of MPD's 7th District, and just in the last 10 minutes, police have confirmed to us that at least 3 people have been arrested, and this is all unfolding in really the last hour or so. So let's take you through what has been going on all night. So there was a protest out here, and you can see, actually, let's talk about this for a moment. This is what we've been seeing on and off throughout the evening. You can see police running towards the crowd out here as we speak, and they are taking some people into custody. So we do know that 3
I've been away from DC so long, I don't even feel like I'm from DC no more.
crowd out here as we speak, and they are taking some people into custody. So we do know that 3 people at this point have been arrested. We do see an officer over here shooting what appears to be some rubber bullets. So we're obviously continuing to monitor a very tense situation. But again, let's get back to what had been going on earlier tonight. So there was a protest here outside MPD's 7th District. Those protesters then walked over to the McDonald's where Justin Robinson was shot and killed by police last week. They chanted outside of the McDonald's, and then they made their way back up to MPD's 7th District. That was around 9:30 p.m. when they arrived here to the police station. Around 10 p.m. though. So for about 30 minutes, everything was pretty peaceful. A little bit of chanting, people standing around, talking to each other, hugging. But then at 10 p.m., a group started to climb on the fencing outside the police station. Officers started coming out, and that is when things started to get tense out here. The crowd throwing things, bottles, eggs at the officers. About 10 minutes after that, we started seeing officers showing up.
Hey. See what I'm saying?
Officers about.
See what I'm saying, Misty? Misty. You see what I mean, man?
What's up?
I said, even at our protest, man, our hood rats, that's a whole hood rat, man. Our hood rats be looking good, man.
About 10 minutes after that, we started seeing officers showing up in riot
that's
gear.
what I
We
was
saw
saying.
police arriving in police cruisers. One of the groups chased the cop cars back, throwing stuff, banging on the cars. Again, we then saw even more officers arriving, all in riot gear, and they've been arresting people here and there. We have seen eggs being thrown and bottles being thrown. The group has been pushed back away from the police station, but as you can see, things remain very tense outside of the police station where we are, and this situation just continuing out here. So again, we are outside MPD's 7th District, and you can see people are in the street. They're holding up signs. The signs say things like, "I'm sleep, don't shoot." They say "Justice for Justin." They're talking about Justin Robinson. Again, this was supposed to be a peaceful protest. Things have taken a bit of a turnout here. We are continue to monitor this situation. At this point, all we know from DC police is that 3 people have been arrested. They said they work to protect peaceful protesters, but that is not what was happening out here. We will again.
The good part is when you get arrested, like right here by the police station, man, you don't have far to go, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to take that ride, man, with them hard seats, man. Pause. So it said businesses were vandalized.
Happening right now on WUSA 9 News at 5, a night of chaos and confusion in the district. Police are looking into whether a number of burglaries and break-ins throughout the city were in response to body cam footage being released that showed officers shooting and killing violence interrupter Justin Robinson. That video was released yesterday evening. Thank you for being here with us tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
And I'm Leslie Foster. At least 7 businesses were targeted in City Center, Georgetown, H Street, Logan Circle, and Columbia Heights. Our Leslie Moreno joins us now live from City Center. And Leslie, what are police doing?
City Center. I don't know where the fuck that is. They done changed all the names of the neighborhoods. Where the fuck is City Center?
Well, guys, we still have a lot of questions for DC police. They released a statement at around 3 this morning, and we haven't really received a major update since that time. We've been talking to residents who live in this area. They tell me they believe this was all in response and reaction to the police shooting involving Justin Robinson. They tell me they heard his name repeated multiple times yesterday during the chaos. Tonight, residents coming to shop at City Center, D.C., taken by surprise.
I had no idea that this transpired. I was wondering what was going on because I did see a lot of the police.
Police say overnight, several people burglarized and destroyed 7 businesses throughout D.C. Gucci
They got a
City
Gucci
Center
store there?
and other stores in Georgetown, the H Street corridor, Logan Circle, and Columbia Heights were targeted. Fred Taba says he awoke to the sound of sirens and helicopters over his apartment.
Many police cars, as it was a little bit scary.
Elise and her son live across the street from Gucci.
Oh, he was in bed, thank God. He was in bed sleeping.
She and her neighbors watched as the store was burglarized. She believes it was in response to MPD's release of body cam video of the fatal shooting of Justin Robinson, the 26-year-old man who was shot and killed by police on September 1st at a McDonald's in Southeast DC.
And people were just really upset and angry about that. And I guess this was their expression of it, was to, attack the stores and just this.
The Gucci store, man. And all the Justin Robinson, man, we gonna go to the Gucci store on the other side of town. This right here. This is on the other side of town from where the McDonald's is that he got killed at.
How many Gucci items do you own, Ak?
How many what Gucci items? I don't know any right now. I'm not a Gucci man. It's not my thing, man. But yeah, this is crazy. This would be like if a dude got killed in South Philly, like at the bottom of South Philly, and they went and looted Center City. This is crazy, man.
General area.
Tonight, 5 people are behind bars and facing charges. Some say these are the kind of crimes that deter them from living and spending in DC.
You notice how everything, the woke shit is starting to start back up. You had the football player, all the NFL players are getting woke and shit over his detainment for speeding, and then you got the WNBA. They want the commissioner fired because Caitlin Clark's fans are allegedly racist. It's a bunch of woke shit starting.
The white shooters.
Yeah, the white school shooter. Well, we got a black school shooter, so we're going to get to that tonight. We got a black school shooter in Baltimore.
See, it's starting to make me feel like, we can't even come in the city.
Take the $5 challenge. Support the channel, guys. Jesus, man. Support the damn channel, man. We need your support, man. I promise I ain't going to buy no Gucci, but I can tell you that much.
And I think that, like I said, it's disheartening and it's unfortunate because many of us work hard to be able to, be able to come down here and appreciate the things that are amazing that are happening in DC.
And the Prince George's County Police, they're also investigating about 4 different burglaries that happened overnight as well. We are still waiting to hear back from them on whether they believe those and the ones here in DC are connected.
Yeah, if I'm a sister, I'm threatened by her. She got the lips, she got the hair. I'm threatened by her, man. If I'm a sister, man. I'm like, y'all, don't let her have a fat ass, man. It's a wrap. Finito, man.
We'll toss back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, it was quite a night watching all of that unfold so late last night into the morning and wondering what this was all about. Sounds like there are still more answers to get here in the.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Gonzalez with 7 News, and we are following a developing story that happened overnight.
Yo, man, come on. You could have did better than that. Even George Costanza's hairpiece looked better than that, man. Come on, man.
Don't look crazy.
At least try, man. You got off wearing a ball cap, man. They should give you a mulligan on a ball cap, man. I know that's not like professional, but you should be able to wear a baseball cap, man. Is this what you gonna do, man? Come on, man. Oh my God, man. My man got a lace front on, man. Talk to them sisters. Don't you got some sisters down at the news station that can help you on how to properly do a lace front, man? He need the little things, the little lay his baby hairs down, man. Jeez, man.
While many of us were sleeping, a mob of burglars targeted several neighborhoods in DC. We have our entire article up on our webpage, WJLA.com. You can learn more there. You can click on some of the links to see some of the videos that we shot this morning. Still a very active scene when we arrived just after 4 o'clock this morning. So here's what we know. Just before midnight, there was groups, DC police describing them as groups of individuals who decided to target different high-end stores throughout the city. And I mean, the city has dealt with flash mob crimes for years now, but this one's a bit unique because of just how widespread. You see the map here that we are showing you just kind of gives you an indication how widespread these targeted attacks, if you will, were. 5 different locations. We were live at City Center in DC, Northwest DC, which includes some high-end stores. Gucci was hit. We can tell that the front glass was shattered. The inside security door was damaged pretty severely, and some of the merchandise you can see was yanked off of the sensors, the security sensors inside the store. So that's a shot right there of City Center. That's where we were live this morning. These groups also hit a store in Georgetown, a store just north of Columbia Heights, one in the Logan Circle neighborhood, and also one in the 8th Street corridor.
Salute to my man Ray Wall. He says, great show. Did you talk about the Haitians in Ohio eating ducks out of the pond? Protein tastes better than mud cookies. When will gliders learn? Listen, I'm gonna try to get to that, man. I heard about that. I'm gonna try to get to that, man. That was a important story. We got Haitians in the building too, man. So we might we may be able to get to that. We got Haitians on deck, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Over in Northeast DC. So different locations, and police are still working to determine if there are perhaps more locations that were hit overnight. We've been hearing that as many as.
Yeah, man. So let's move along, man. Let's move along, man. Got a lot to get to, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man.
not to show their faces as they gave emotional impact statements.
Jeez.
A man will spend the rest of his life in prison for the drive-by shooting death of a Pawtucket man 3 years ago.
12 News reporter Alex Torres Perez goes over what his loved ones had to say before the sentencing. Alex?
Mike and Shannon, Leonardo Tavares' loved ones asked us not to show their faces as they gave emotional impact statements in court today. Their pain and heartbreak still felt years after the murder.
I wish this never happened. If I could go back and change the hand of time, I would.
But now Jacqueline Rodriguez will have to spend the rest of his life in prison thinking about his actions.
Oompa Loompa's out here banging on folks.
Yo, man, listen, man. Imagine if you out here banging, right? You putting in work. You a street dude. You out here living that life. You got a flawless record. Your gangster reputation is impeccable. You ain't never snitched. You ain't never got beat up. No nigga ever slapped you. You ain't never been robbed. You just a straight official G, 10 toes down. And then you get murked by a midget. God,
Someone in the chat said, "Is that Kyler Murray?"
Oh shit, man. He didn't play this weekend, I don't think, man. I just wonder why.
I wish this never happened. If I could go back and change the hand of time, I would.
But now Jacqueline Rodriguez will have to spend the rest of his life in prison thinking about his actions on May 15th, 2021.
The day my heart shattered into pieces.
Pawtucket police say Rodriguez was the one to pull the trigger after noticing Leonardo Tavares driving through the city. Investigators say the shooting was targeted and part of a gang feud, but families still can't make sense of it.
They say time helps heal, but I don't think this is possible. 3 years later, and when that day replays in my head, the hurt still feels the same. The suffocation I felt when I got the news comes back. The stabbing sensation I feel in my heart comes back just as strong.
They describe Leo as a loving and loyal person who put his family, especially his mother and son, first.
If you were part of his life, he would do everything in his power to make sure you were good.
But the grief goes beyond Leo's family into the entire Cape Verdean community.
He didn't just break one heart, he broke many. There's a saying that all Cape Verdeans are related. So the defendant, he didn't just hurt Leo's family, he hurt his own family as well.
Something Rodriguez agrees with.
I'm sorry beyond my words.
And justice is still not done for Leo's family.
That little guy, man. Don't send that little guy to jail, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's go to little jail.
Yeah, they gotta have a jail for people, man. You can't send him in there with everybody else. That's inhumane, man. We gotta start a GoFundMe.
Do you think he felt the need to put the Pooh Shiesty mask on or not? Does it really matter?
I don't know. They do be having big ass heads, so I mean, I don't think a regular size Pooh Shiesty would fit him, but it's just the body that be small on these dudes, man. Yo, you got murked by a midget, yo. That's like,
I would be mad. I'll be like, God, you gotta send me back for real.
Yo, that's crazy.
Do you think this was a drive-by? You think he was sitting on a booster seat?
I wonder what type of gun he used.
Oh shit! A deuce, man. He's a 22, man. Man, golly, man.
Got killed by a guy in a booster seat.
He was on the 22 like it was a Draco. Oh man, my man is that's crazy, man. They gonna send this little guy to jail, man. Like, you know how like you can't charge kids like when they a certain age, man. You can't charge him, man. You gonna charge him as an adult, man? You can't.
I like to see you be the judge overseeing this case. You just be laughing the whole time.
Yo, as soon as you would have walked in, I'd have started laughing.
You just start bust out laughing.
Like, sir, juvenile court is down. Yo, man. I was like, oh my God, man. This little guy, Burke, he was out here bossing shit. Cause you know this wasn't his only rodeo, man. This wasn't his first rodeo. He was out here thumping shit. Shout out to Rabbit Hole. He said he makes Trump's hair look good. Salute to Rabbit Hole Review. Man, Rabbit Hole Review is gonna be the only person to donate tonight, man. That's how y'all gonna do tonight. We gonna have one dude donate. One dude, one dude is donated, and Larry and Frank Aceman. Well, one dude is donated like 5 times. I swear, y'all, man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. Salute to Rabbit Hole Reviews. He says that little son, man, is gonna be someone's pillow. Nah, man, he gonna be an ottoman, man. They gonna make him an ottoman, man. I'll kick my feet up, man. Come here, man. But think about if you in there bullying, trying to bully this dude, man. They gonna fuck you up, man. Hey, I know for they ain't gonna let you bully this dude, man. God damn, man. But he good for some stuff too. Like he could probably squeeze out of his cell, man. And go steal the keys from the from the guard while he's sleeping, man. Let everybody out, man. But yeah, man, this little dude, man, god damn, man, this shit ain't right, man. This shit's not right, man. You will lock this little dude up.
My head, the hurt still feels the same. The suffocation I felt when I got the news comes back. The stabbing sensation I feel in my heart comes back just as strong.
They described Leo as a loving and loyal person who put his family, especially his mother and son, first.
If you were part of his life, he would do everything in his power to make sure you were good.
But the grief goes beyond Leo's family into the entire Cape Verdean community.
He didn't just break one heart, he broke many. There's a saying that all Cape Verdeans are related. So the defendant, he didn't just hurt Leo's family, he hurt his own family as well.
Something Rodriguez agrees with.
I'm sorry beyond my words.
And justice is still not done for Leo's family. The second suspect is still in the middle.
Listen, I'll be the judge. I'll be like, look, man, I got a deal for you, man. I don't want to send you to prison, man. You cute, man. You too cute, man. You a cute little gangster, man. You're too adorable, man. I don't want to send you to jail, man. You and Vern Troyer, a cage match to the death, man. Whoever wins. If you win, you get to buy your freedom, man.
Get out of jail free card.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
He's got to wrestle a bear cub.
Yeah, man. This shit crazy, man. Oh, man, I can see this dude, man. Look how cute he is, man. He adorable, man. You gonna send this little guy to jail, man. He remind me of my son, man. I want to pick him up and just hold him like I hold my son.
That's NFL quarterback Kyler Murray. What are you talking about?
You got any coloring books?
Man. Yeah, man. He my son, man. I want to feed him with the spoon and like airplane. Be like, woo.
And he got life in jail too. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Get his new life.
He gonna get mad respected too.
Yeah, this shit ain't right, man. This shit ain't right, man. This shit is just wrong, man. Y'all, we need to do something about this, man. Yeah, what the hell, man? What the hell is going on, man? You know how dudes in jail they turn some dudes out in the girls. They gonna turn him into a kid, man. He's a big rough dude. Like, you my son, goddamn. They gonna make him wear
trash out.
They gonna make him wear a diaper and shit.
You're gonna be sucker punching people in the balls.
Yeah, man, they be walking him around in a stroller, man. They turn you out when you get in there, man.
They gonna make them do homework and shit.
They
Gonna make them do homework.
feed him with a choo-choo train. Sit him at the table with the booster seat. At the end of the table with the airplane.
Chow, man. Chow. If we get his little tray, and when they get their little tray in jail, man, he mash up his food for him and shit.
You think they're gonna have to hire a bunch of little midget guards, make him feel better?
Man. Yeah, man, hire some midget guards, man. It ain't right for a big guard to beat him, man, or discipline him, man. He don't need no whole cell, man. Don't wait. You can't waste no whole cell. How can, with the economy the way it is, man, you can't justify wasting the whole cell on him, man. You gotta give him like a little, stick him in a little drawer, man. Put some bars on the drawer.
Jimmy said they gotta read him a bedtime story.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. You little guy, man. This is wrong, man. I'm listen. Salute to Kimberly Ashcraft. She says, "Got you covered. I love the show, man." Yeah, man. Salute to Kimberly Ashford in the building, man. This shit. Listen. Salute to Gouch Merlot, man. Octane Hall of Fame says, "Salute. You still have to explain why he was asleep in McDonald's with a gun in his lap. No sense to me." We'll get back to that, man. We're gonna try to watch that whole body cam or the good part. This shit is a damn travesty, man. This is a goddamn travesty, man. Call the president, man. Call somebody, man. Where's Ben Crump at, man? Gonna send this little dude to jail.
All versions are related. So the defendant, he didn't just hurt Leo's family, he hurt his own family as well.
Something Rodriguez agrees with.
I'm sorry beyond my words.
And justice is still not done for Leo's family. The second suspect is still in the middle of court proceedings. Todd Alicia had a hearing scheduled for today, but it was continued until next month. Reporting in studio, I'm Alex Torres Perez, 12 News.
The man who pulled the trigger in a deadly drive-by shooting in Pawtucket 3 years ago will spend...
I said I'm kind of surprised by his lawyer. I thought he would have someone representing him from the Lollipop Guild.
What?
Lollipop Guild from Wizard of Oz. Do we represent the Lollipop Guild?
Oh, okay.
He's going to do okay in prison, though. I think a good stretch is what he needs.
Yeah, man.
Deadly drive-by shooting in Pawtucket 3 years ago will spend the rest of his life in prison. 12 News reporter Alex Torres Perez goes over the sentencing and what the victim's loved ones had to say today. Alex?
Well, Mike, the murder...
Yeah, man, this shit ain't right, man.
They only live to 40 anyway.
Huh?
They only make it to about 40 anyway, these guys, you know.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they don't live very long.
Oh, wow.
That's another reason to let him out, man.
Yeah. A life sentence, so if he don't give him like 5 years, man.
Yeah, that's like 20 years in little people years.
Yeah, exactly, man. He learns, look at him, man. I believe him, man. He's sorry, man.
He might get time off. He might get time off his sentence for finishing his vegetables.
Yeah, man. Right, man. Right, man. Definitely, man. And when he go to the infirmary, they gonna give him Flintstone vitamins, man. The little guy, man. Damn, man. This is. I just don't honestly like all jokes aside, like no short jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like serious. This shit is wrong, man. This shit is wrong, man. You can't send him to jail with regular people. You can't sit in jail with normal people, man.
So you're saying gliders have to come up with little people jail?
Yeah, man.
He's got to become a woman. That's probably the only protection he'll have.
Think about this, man. Little people jail. What if they make little people jail? The demographics are gonna be the same, man. Judging from this sample size,
Yeah.
man.
They can make a show on TLC out of it. Little people jail.
The Venn diagram for little people murderers and sons is just him.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, man. This dude, man, this is wrong, man. We wanted to write your congressman. Where he live at? Tucket, Boston area. Everybody write your, if you live in Boston and you congressman, you our nation, man, write your congressman, man. Tell him, man, don't do this to this little guy, man. He too cute, man. Let's see. See what else is going on. We got Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Man, I ain't the type, man. Listen, man. I ain't even trying to be funny. Like this is wrong. It's just wrong. On
in a prison is very difficult. California's 12 state prisons, 30% of them are black.
Look at what he's gonna have to deal with, man.
Inside these walls of San Quentin Penitentiary are perhaps three of the most well-known prisoners in recent history. They're called the Soledad brothers. And not too far from here, in another penal institution, is Professor Angela Davis, who has also been in the public eye. Of the 23,900 prisoners in California's 12 state prisons, 30% of them are black. Nationally, there are about 400,000 inmates, and close to 1/3 are non-white. In an effort to shed some light on how black people are affected by the correctional and judicial institutions, Black Journal spoke to those involved with Angela Davis.
They was complaining when we was only 1/3 of the prison population. Now we 2/3. That's crazy, man.
The Soledad brothers, inmates in San Quentin and Soledad prisons, and lawyers, families, and friends of some of those who consider themselves political prisoners. Substantiation for what goes on in a prison is very difficult. This is not a vindication of what has taken place, and this is not a vindication of crime per se. It is an attempt to find out what the penal institution and the correctional systems as an institution are doing to rehabilitate those that society has judged to be wrong.
Salute to my man Savage in the building. Savage in the building. Heavy, man. Shout out to my man Savage, man. Shout out to my man Darren, man. Darren in the building. Salute to Eric S., man. Ock Nation Hall of Famer, man. Coming through, man. All right.
In the state statement, as I said before, that the Regents chose me as a target of their attack. I think it's symbolic.
What it is. Do you think Angela was dangerous enough to be considered one of the 10 most wanted people in the country?
No, I think that's a distortion. Same kind of distortion that emerged around the case around here, where they said, she was just a crazy radical who was on campus and who would come to, indoctrinate students with, all kinds of other beliefs about politics and about society.
What was she like to work with?
Really great. She's a really great teacher. And anyone you talk to really tell you that. Really a lot of enthusiasm for the kind of things that she studied and for, making sure that people learn things.
Actually, one thing I could say about black people back in the day, they were much more well spoken, man. Right? They had a different decorum, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They read more books.
And others represented vocally. Angela Davis is a spokeswoman for the struggle. Therefore, whatever she does is more emphasized than what the average person would do. And Angela Davis is not only a person, again, she's a principle and an image that black people use and emulate and can hold up in some esteem as an example of black womanhood.
Well, do you agree that the image that Angela Davis projects should be esteemed by other black women?
The image that she projects as a revolutionary in the sense of wanting to perpetuate and promote change, I think is good. The only thing that I disagree with is that the use of a foreign ideology. And when I say foreign ideology, what I'm talking about is a commitment to communism.
Communism and people like myself or Angela who joined the Communist Party, I think basically what we're doing is we're saying that the system is rotten at its core, that the system itself has to be changed. That we, while we fight for the immediate needs of the people constantly and continually, better housing, the end of police brutality, stopping the depression level of unemployment in the black community, that while we continue to do those kinds of things, we do know, in fact, that the system itself creates those conditions. And in other words, we are all political prisoners.
Every man who goes to court couldn't have a lawyer of his choice.
Yeah, man. Niggas was better back then, man.
With a memorial growing and candles still flickering,
He was calm. He was the one for it.
the Joppatown community is grieving the loss of 15-year-old Warren Grant.
Warren was a gift from God. Like, he is the perfect example of constantly showing up for people, constantly being there for people.
Grant was killed Friday at Joppatown High School, days into the new school year. Charging docs say Grant was shot in the school bathroom. The person accused of pulling the trigger, 16-year-old Jalen Prince.
Yeah, he did it. No need for waste money for a trial.
That's 22-year-old. That's 22-year-old James Brown. I don't know.
He's 22.
No, that's what he looks like. 22-year-old James Brown. The hair,
What to say? Yeah, this nigga, he did
Pulling the
that.
trigger, 16-year-old Jalen Prince.
There's no reason that we should be grieving a 15-year-old boy.
The charging docs say the two had issues, and witnesses in the bathroom say both Grant and Prince had gotten into an argument. Prince is then accused of reaching into his backpack, firing a shot from a handgun, shooting Grant in the stomach. Grant later died from his injuries.
It wasn't no gang violence. It wasn't really what a lot of people thought it was.
Yeah,
For
that
it
was
just
cheap.
was a bad situation.
And while Grant is being remembered,
everybody loved Warren.
Prince made his first court appearance Monday, facing charges for murder, assault, and possession of a firearm. He's being charged as an adult. A judge ordering him to be held without bail. The state's attorney arguing he's a danger to the public, especially since they say ammunition
charged
in his room.
It's a school shooting that we didn't hear nothing about.
Right. What was it? He was charged with assault. That's it.
Hold on, he had been charged with more than that.
Attorney arguing he's a danger to the public, especially since they say they found ammunition in his room, photos of him with a firearm on his phone, and they say the gun from the shooting has yet to be found. His attorney representing him Monday disagreeing, pushing instead for home detention.
I think that everybody has a constitutional right to be not detained while their case is pending because they are presumed to be not guilty.
In the wake of the shooting, Joppatown High School will be closed to students until Thursday. School officials are offering counseling and services to students.
But some of Grant's friends, as well as more than 3,000 people in the community, are calling for change. This petition is circulating online for metal detectors and clear backpacks.
That should
They're calling for metal detectors and clear backpacks.
So they'll just shoot each other in the parking lot.
Man. We have no shame, man. We're shameless, man. You got the nerve to call for metal detectors and clear backpacks. Y'all, this would have never happened if y'all would have had metal detectors.
But then they call those things racist because they only put them in sun schools.
Of course.
You can't win. Ungovernable.
It's impossible. It's impossible to win with these people, man.
That should have never happened. Like, there's no reason why children should not be able to be safe.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Breaking news for you tonight is the Miami-Dade County Police.
We did that last night. Let me see if you see this. Oh wow.
Disgusting. It's disturbing. No one deserves to be treated this way in our community.
An Indianapolis rideshare driver is arrested for murder after allegedly shooting and killing a female customer. Fox 59 Jesse Wells spoke to the woman's family and to IMPD's police chief about the case and has the very latest.
The victim's family tells me they tracked her phone down to these woods where they found her body and called police. Less than 24 hours later, IMPD had the suspect in custody and are now preaching a message of prevention.
Just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, in these woods on Indy's near southeast side, a woman who had been reported missing hours earlier was found naked with a shirt pulled over her head. Police believe 30-year-old Chanty Dixon had been sexually assaulted and shot to death.
This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen.
Police claim a 29-year-old Uber driver, Francisco Valadez, picked up the victim from work early Sunday morning and drove Dixon to her home at this apartment complex just a few feet from the woods where she was murdered. According to this affidavit, Valadez gave conflicting stories, but eventually admitted to shooting the victim while trying to have sex with her. After dumping Dixon's body, the suspect confessed he tried to have sex with her again.
This is a family's worst nightmare. We're disgusted.
Yo, you told the cops that after you dumped her body, you tried to. Why you had to? You didn't have to tell them that, man. Like, geez, man.
It was probably on his phone. You know, he probably taped himself.
You told him you killed her, man. Like, that was enough, man. This motherfucker was just goddamn stream of consciousness, man.
By these allegations.
Finally, formal charges by the prosecutor's office in this case are still pending. In the meantime, IMPD asks anyone who may have had a suspicious encounter with the suspect using rideshare in recent weeks to contact their department. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Salute to Kimberly Ashcraft. Here's another one since spell check failed last one. Yeah, man. Don't worry about your spelling, man. It's all good, man. Beast Life over 50 says, funny crap tonight. They made me change my message 6 times. Yikes, man. But don't let it discourage you, man. Keep them coming, man.
Jesse, thank you. Officials with Uber sent a statement saying their heart breaks for the victim's family, adding that the details of this case are atrocious and that they will assist police however they can. Meanwhile, there are steps that police recommend taking to protect yourself on a ride. They say making sure the car that pulls up matches the description from your rideshare app.
All I want to know is that guy Venezuelan, man. That's all I want to know, man. Fuck all the bullshit, man. Is he Venezuelan, man?
That's fucked up what he did to her.
He looks
man.
Mexican to me.
Yeah, man.
They didn't say where he was from that I caught.
Nah, they left that out, man.
Like if he was a local guy or.
Yeah,
They also
man.
kind of kept Uber. They held off Uber till the end of the story. They were talking about a ride share this and a ride share that. And when people are already bored and have clicked off the story, we hear a little bit about, well, it was an Uber driver.
What do we have here, yo?
Tonight, the McKeesport Schools police chief, who also heads McKeesport's NAACP branch, is accused of stealing thousands of dollars to fuel a gambling addiction.
Oh, Lord.
Everywhere you look, there's a sister politician stealing some money.
Yep.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Ken Rice. The investigation started after the same woman left her job in the state attorney general's drug division in Westmoreland County. Erica Stanish was there for her hearing this evening.
Brenda Sawyer was the regional director for the Attorney General's Bureau of Narcotics. And tonight we're learning she allegedly stole money from that agency and the NAACP McKeesport branch, totaling around $200,000 that was all allegedly used at local casinos. KDKA was there as 61-year-old Brenda Sawyer walked out of court Thursday night, now facing felony charges of theft, forgery, tampering with evidence, and obstruction. Sawyer retired as the regional director of the Attorney General's Bureau of Narcotics in 2024. Investigators say she stole funds while in that position by issuing 58 checks worth almost $46,000 between 2019 and 2024. They say she also stole $75,000 from the narcotics storage room. Investigators executed a search.
That's really lightweight, though, man. Let's be real, man.
That's also all they've caught her with, you know?
Yeah, that's not worth doing.
She one of the good ones, man. Leave her alone, man.
Pretty soon it's gonna be racist to investigate city officials. It's just gonna be declared it's a racial attack now.
Yeah, man. What's this?
The saying goes, good fences make for good neighbors. Now, this is all part of a legal battle between a Third Ward family and home developers.
The Pattersons sued days after developers suggested the family was trespassing in their own yard. As KPRC2's Rowan Belogan explains, the family says the lawsuit is about more than a fence.
The focus of this lawsuit truly centers around where to build a fence. However, the family tells me the fight behind all of this is to ensure that they can keep this property in the family.
I put these stakes out to make sure we don't forget the fence line. So as you see these purple stakes, this is our fence line.
Danielle Patterson walks us along her parents' home, showing where they once had a fence up.
All the way back to the gate.
In recent weeks, the property developers next door and the family agreed to remove the fence. The Pattersons thought the property owners would build a newer fence, but instead, they were given an eviction notice for their own home.
With this eviction notice, you enter the property without permission and are trespassing at the property. What property are they talking about?
They're talking about our property.
So they're alleging or insinuating that by being on your property, you're actually in their property.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're saying you were trespassing, but in fact, you're saying this is your property.
Yeah, man, sucks, man. But hey, wow.
I mean, did they buy her parents' house too?
I don't know, man. I kind of like don't care, man. They're not. They didn't make me care about them, man. That family.
Yeah, they seem like they're leaving something out of that.
Yeah, they were boring, man.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since Jada Medrano Moore was shot and killed. Police say the Duval High School student was trying to break up a fight while walking home from school. And right now, the murder trial for her accused killer is underway. As Rafael Sanchez Cruz explains, we learned some new details about him in court today.
Yeah, last time the alleged shooter was in the courtroom, we were unable to identify him because he was 17. But today, we learned his name, Abdurrahman Diaby. It was an emotional day in court with both families inside of Prince George's County Court. Now, the judge called a recess because of disturbances outside of the courtroom. Day 2 in the trial against the alleged shooter in the killing of Duval High School student Jada Medrano Moore. Today, the jury heard evidence gathered by investigators that they say pins 18-year-old Abdurrahman Diaby as the shooter in this case. Prosecutors insist this was a deliberate shooting.
This young girl was pistol whipped, and the gun was placed to her head, and she was shot point blank.
A Prince George's County police officer testifying today that the 16-year-old basketball star was shot in the back of the head. The jury was presented with a graphic video of the officer's body-worn camera as he arrived at the scene and found Medrano Moore. Prosecutors say last year, Diaby and a group of masked teenagers began confronting students as they were walking home from school. Investigators say a fight broke out and Medrano Moore was shot trying to protect her brother, who testified today alongside their mother.
We extend our profound condolences to the family of Ms. Jada Medrano Moore.
Diaby's defense attorney, Gabriel Christian, telling WUSA 9 this was an accident during a, quote, scuffle. He says the shooting happened during a struggle over a gun. Tomorrow, the lead investigator in this case is expected to take the stand as the Prince George's County State's attorney plans to wrap up tomorrow. The defense is also expected to present their evidence tomorrow, with Diaby expected to take the stand in his own defense. In Upper Marlboro, Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Wow.
Well, Kyle, Paula, Jay Clark has a lot of experience dealing with cases like this. And again, we want to warn you, the video in this story is disturbing. It shows the confrontation between Fletcher, Norton, and another woman. In the video, Norton is seen holding a knife and a rock. In her Facebook post, Fletcher says she was being, quote, attacked. She claims her tires were slashed, windows smashed, and a rock was being thrown at her. Now, after watching my report and playing Fletcher's video several times, Clark believes Fletcher does have a solid self-defense case.
Hit me again. Hit me again.
One of these shots allegedly killed Naima Norton, and the woman charged in her murder is the person recording.
You should be happy. You should be happy you don't get clapped. You should be happy you don't get clapped. You should be happy you don't get clapped.
The confrontation played out on Akira Fletcher's phone, posted as 2 clips on Facebook. Jay Clark believes this one alone is enough to prove Fletcher acted in self-defense.
Basically, it's a new sequence of events at that point because they had disengaged. She had walked off. She tried to drive off. Well, now she's approaching.
It shows Fletcher's driver's side window smashed as Norton approaches her vehicle, appearing to reach for something before Fletcher allegedly fires the fatal shots.
Right there, you can see the arm start to come up as she turns to swing it.
Clark says the prosecution will have to prove Fletcher's use of deadly force was not in self-defense. All it takes is proving beyond a reasonable doubt at least one of 5 things. Fletcher created the situation. She did not have reasonable grounds to believe she was in danger of death or great bodily harm, that she did not have an honest belief of being in danger of death or great bodily harm, that she violated a duty to retreat to avoid the danger, or that she used unreasonable force. Based on those elements, Clark says Fletcher has a solid case. He does not believe Fletcher was the aggressor.
Now, you can say she got out and was running her mouth, but words alone are not enough.
He thinks Norton escalated the situation when she returned to Fletcher's car.
And did she use a reasonable force? At best, the state could argue, well, she had a brick, you didn't have to shoot her. Any cop will tell you a blunt object is just as dangerous as a gun.
He says because Fletcher's tires were flat, she likely couldn't drive away. But under Ohio's standard ground law, she didn't have to.
She was in her car. She had a right to, she had no obligation to retreat.
Okay, so she's in the right, man. She's good, man. She smoked that sister, man. She should be able to get off. Wow.
New tonight, this man's family says he knocked on the door hoping to spread the word of God, and he was met with a barrage of bullets. The accused shooter is his neighbor, and tonight he's not charged. Channel 9's Jonathan Lowe was in Rockingham today as police paint a very different picture of what they believe happened.
Well, we learned late today that the State Bureau of Investigation is assisting the Richmond County Sheriff's Office with this investigation, and that the preliminary findings have already been turned over to the local district attorney for a determination on charges.
Tonight, 23-year-old Jaden McNeil of Rockingham continues to fight for his life after a bizarre shooting back on August 22nd.
He was shot at 7 times, but he was only hit 5. You know, this is the guy across the street.
Jaden's father says the gunman is their neighbor living directly across the street. That morning, he believes his son was going across the street to pray with his neighbor, who's 72 years old.
He is a resilient young man. It was on his mind to, you know, try to spread the good news.
But at some point, that neighbor fired shots through their front door. This is video of that door. Jaden was struck in the chest, stomach, arm, and head.
This must be a black guy. This cannot be a white guy. Because this is perfect BLM case for the election, man. Went to go pray with an old man and an old white man shot you through the door.
We'd know his name if it was a white guy.
My son was still standing whenever I got across the street to him, with his hands up to the sky.
The sheriff is contradicting the family's version of events, posting on Facebook that the homeowner believed Jaden, who has no criminal history, was trying to break in even after the first few shots.
According to the family, there was no kicking or trying to break down the door.
That neighbor has not been arrested or charged. Living across the Rileys for 8 years, Charles is sure the neighbor knew his son.
He would often read his Bible in here in the driveway.
Nancy Buchanan, who we met outside the sheriff's office, is familiar with Jaden's devotion to his faith. She recently lost her own son.
Jaden was even witnessing to some of the young people in the yard.
Now she's doing the same.
Praying for a breakthrough in this city to change and be real with people, be honest with people, treat people right.
Now, we are not naming the man who shot Jaden because, again, he has not been arrested or charged. Jaden's father tells me that his son currently is in stable condition at a hospital in Chapel Hill, but that he is still in the ICU. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says the findings of their investigation will be turned over to the district attorney, who will make the final determination on charges. In Richmond County, Jonathan Lowe, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Wow. They didn't show the guy who killed him.
This is Eyewitness News. We're live at 10.
Well, mother is sharing memories of her son after a crash killed him and nearly took the lives of 2 police officers. I'm Scott Wickersham.
And I'm Hannah Getz, in for Erica Bryant. We showed you this scene after the crash along I-485 in Northwest Charlotte. Tonight, the victim's mother spoke only to Channel 9's Glenn Counts. And Glenn, she's still trying to understand how this all happened.
Battle was killed 2 weeks ago. He was on the job hauling cars when he noticed something out of the ordinary. Tonight, his mother is trying to tell us how the family is coping. Police were called out to 485 and Mount Holly Road to investigate a stolen car reported by 29-year-old Brian Battle.
You saw Brian, it made you want to be a better person.
That act of good citizenship cost Battle his life. We caught up with his mother, Shakita Battle Grant, by phone tonight from Nash County.
Wow. The way that it happened is devastating.
He looked like a good brother, man. Look at the way he's smiling. Ain't no thug nigga gonna smile like that in 1,000 years. Yeah, a good guy, man.
The way that it happened is devastating to me. He was just communicating with the police, you know. And out of nowhere comes an RV. So it's the way that he died that hurts.
Police tell us that Battle was hit and killed by the driver of that RV as he was standing outside talking to officers. The RV also hit a police cruiser, injuring 2 officers.
Wow, he was standing out there talking to officers, and that car came by. Look at what that, yo, look at that. My God. And that car hit him first? Oh, Lord.
Injuring 2 officers. They are out of the hospital. Battle's mother is thankful they're okay.
That was definitely Brian. He loved hard. He loved deeply. and he just tried to live his life with a purpose.
Battle Grant tells us her son was honest to a fault, was deeply religious, and a devoted father to his 3-year-old son.
He loved reading the Quran. He studied it. His devotion to just praying, fasting, eating right, giving back to the community.
Battle was a truck driver, and he would haul cars all over the country. He developed a love for the road when he was very young.
My dad owned a truck. Another uncle owned a truck. So Brian had 2 uncles that at the age of 5, he would just drive and ride with, across the United States. At a young age, he loved the big rig.
Police are continuing to investigate the case. The driver of the RV has not been charged.
I don't know the law well enough, but I don't understand. Because to me, I just don't understand that part.
Tonight, there is no word on how much longer the investigation is likely to take. We did check the background of the driver, and we found out that he does have a clean record here in North Carolina. Reporting live from North.
Salute to Eric S., Sock Nation Hall of Fame, coming through once again.
Tonight, an Indianapolis family seeking justice after a deadly shooting.
As CBS 4's Jesse Wells explains, it comes after a woman was shot and killed over on the west side.
The victim was sitting in the driver's seat of her car, parked right here along this street, when a second car pulled up next to her and opened fire. That entire crime was caught on camera.
Just before 7 o'clock Friday night, home surveillance video shows a suspect driving a red Dodge pull up next to a parked car for less than 3 seconds, during which the fatal gunshots were fired and the suspect quickly sped away.
They drove around a couple of times, then they pulled up next to her and they unloaded their clip in the car.
Police were called just minutes later and found the 37-year-old victim shot inside her parked car in front of her own West Side home. Kiera Dotson, who was known by her family as Kia, died after being rushed to the hospital.
I'm heartbroken. I'm hurt. It's a senseless murder and we don't know why.
Holding pictures of her niece, Yolanda Dotson says Kia grew up and lived in her home for years before moving out and raising a teenage daughter. Kia recently moved back in with her aunt and uncle because of financial troubles.
She came back home to get herself back on track. She was doing that. And she was sitting in the car right here in front of the house, and someone came by and just gunned her down.
The family says right now they don't know what motivated the murder, but they're pleading for anyone who knows anything about the case to speak up, because Kia leaves behind a large, loving family eager for justice.
You've heard her daughter, her sisters, her brothers, her other nieces, her nephews, her family, her aunts, her uncles, those of us who loved her and cared for her. She mattered. She was someone.
Anyone with information on this homicide can still contact either IMPD's homicide office or Crime Stoppers. Jesse Wells, CBS 4 News.
CBS 4.
Shouldn't the talk that parents have with their kids maybe also include something about don't be sitting in a car?
Wow.
Get out of the car.
New information tonight about a police pursuit and crash that killed one man in Collierville last night. Police say it all started with a search for a missing woman who'd been assaulted last month. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live in studio. Lakia, you spoke with someone who identified themselves as the mother of the woman involved, and you also obtained video of the pursuit from a witness?
Yeah, I did, Dominique. I spoke with the mother of the victim who told me she's relieved that her daughter made it out of the situation alive. I also spoke with witnesses who say they saw the crash. They even have video of the footage.
94G car right there. Before they coming.
Man, they got a high speed.
This video captures the moments after a suspect wanted by police crashed into parked vehicles, landing in someone's yard. Witnesses say they were at a nearby park when they saw the suspect speeding down East South Street in Collierville Saturday evening.
We was right there.
It was shocking. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Collierville police say the man killed in the crash had warrants and was wanted for an August 30th aggravated assault. Police say they saw the suspect and his alleged victim. Police say the woman got out before the man crashed into a police car and took off later, crashing on South Street near Shooks Park. Now, Fox 13 spoke with the mom of the victim. She says she reported her daughter missing.
I prayed that I would not find my daughter dead. He asked her, will she please take him to Lakeside? He needed help. And she said yes, that she would take him to Lakeside. Once she got in the car, when he got in the car and she was going to take him, he poured out a knife and said, no, we're not going to Lakeside.
Police say the suspect died at Regional 1. Investigators have not released his name. The Tennessee Highway Patrol was back out at that crash site today, continuing that accident investigation. Dominique.
That's Fox 13's Lakia Scott reporting live in studio. Thank you for that report, Lakia.
Sounds like a sunny situation.
Yeah, definitely, man. Salute to Louis Barrow. Kamala looked like she's the baddie when she was young. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yo, Kamala look nice.
Yeah, she was definitely a bad Joan, man. Back in the 80s though. God damn, the 90s.
She's 60 now.
Wow.
Even for 60,
A frightening ordeal for Chicago.
Yeah, he's 60, man. She's 60. Yeah. Doug Emhoff don't mind. Doug Emhoff knocking that thing down, man.
Sure is.
A frightening ordeal for a Chicago mother who sprang into action when she discovered an intruder in her daughter's bedroom.
She grabbed a gun and she shot him. NBC5's Lexi Suter spoke to her and her daughter in South Shore.
Imagine getting out of the shower and seeing a stranger climbing through your bedroom window. That's what happened here in the South Shore neighborhood over the weekend. And the crime has left this family shaken to its core.
I was getting dressed, I was moisturizing, and then I seen him coming through.
When she came out, like I seen, she was like pale, like it's a guy, somebody's coming in.
Both women, an 18-year-old daughter and her mother, have asked we protect their identities for this interview. They're still in shock that 36-year-old Christopher Grady is accused of scaling their apartment building near 69th and Oglesby and climbing into the daughter's window. Mom is a licensed concealed carry holder and says she acted out of self-defense to protect her children.
I told him, what are you doing? I have a gun. And he just continued on. So I just fired a warning shot and went in and called the cops.
Grady was hit once in the leg. He's recovering from his injury and facing an attempted burglary charge in court. But for this family, their peace and their privacy has been destroyed.
I mean, I'm still shaken up, like really shaken up.
My children, their safety is definitely at the top of the list of things that, have to happen. They have to be secured.
Grady remains behind bars tonight and will be back in court this Friday.
I hope next time he think of coming through somebody's window, he remember how that bullet feel in his leg.
Reporting from South Shore, Lexi Suter.
That's what I like. That's how I want to hear you talk, sister. Go ahead, sister.
This Friday.
I hope next time he think of coming through somebody's window, he remember how that bullet feel in his leg.
Reporting from South Shore, Lexi Suter, NBC5 News.
Yeah, man.
I don't think a guy like that can be deterred. I don't think a bullet is going to stop his next attempt. Anybody that's insane and crazy and just that sort of animalistic to climb in a window to take on whatever's on the other side, whether you're going to steal it, kill it, or rape it, that's a crazy person. That bullet doesn't mean anything to him. He'll do it again.
Nah, I think you'll think twice.
You think he's done? You think his life of crime is over? He's never going to try to climb a window?
Crime, but I think he's going to think twice about that shit.
Nah, man. He's broken into so many windows. He's not going to suddenly stop because one time he caught a bullet.
Next time it might be his life.
Or not. That's what keeps you and I from doing it now. But He's got a pretty good record. He's probably done it 50 times or more, and he's only been shot once. That's pretty good.
Mother of four accused of shooting and killing another mother of four this weekend had been investigated for murder once before.
And she was arrested for murder last year, but the DA's office refused those charges. David Jones explains why.
24-year-old Shantae Mark is no stranger to law enforcement. In May of last year, Mark and a man were arrested in connection with the March 2023 killing of a 19-year-old on Almonaster. The DA's office would later refuse those charges, saying in part, quote, "While there was some evidence Mark may have been in the same vehicle with the victim on the morning of the murder, there was insufficient evidence that she participated in any way with the shooting. The investigation was unable to yield any eyewitnesses to the crime. In addition, investigators were unable to recover any physical evidence, forensic evidence, or video evidence of who the actual perpetrator was."
It happens all the time. The DA screens the cases and they accept 50, 60, 70%, whatever it is.
Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Responti says prosecutors in a murder case have to face a grand jury and present the evidence proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt. He says it's possible the DA's office may not have felt the evidence held enough weight, but it's hard to know without seeing all the evidence firsthand.
There's all different kinds of evidence. There's photographs, there's videotapes, there's eyewitnesses, there's physical evidence, there's circumstantial evidence. You have to decide whether you have enough that is believable and provable to make your case.
Court records obtained by Fox 8 also reveal new details in Sunday's killing of 29-year-old mother of four Raven Francis. Records show investigators obtained several different pieces of video showing the fight outside the Shamrock Bar and Grill leading up to Francis's killing. The video, court documents say, also shows Mark leaving the melee and running back to a car, then returning carrying a gun and beating a victim with it. Detectives believe that's when Mark called two men in a black SUV to the parking lot. Detectives say a witness told them Mark entered the SUV, and when Francis and her friends and sisters went to leave, detectives say video shows the SUV following them and someone inside opening fire. Mark was arrested Wednesday at a hotel in Chalmette. Her bond was set Thursday at $1 million. We also learned in magistrate court today that Mark, like the victim, is also a mother of four. The magistrate commissioner said Mark is expected to be rebooked.
So she got away with murder last year and came back and killed this year. I think you might be right. Jimmy Fields. I mean, she just got away with murder last year. Came right back the next year.
500. That's Hall of Fame. You know,
Jeez.
No question.
Salute to Product of Cook County, Ock Nation Hall of Famer. He said, yo, shout out to Product of Cook County, man.
I would bet my life that she's got more than one person, one body that she's taken. She's got more. The two times she got popped.
She definitely got some bodies on her docket, man. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Hey, real quick question. Do you think Angel Reese's injury is legitimate?
Hold on. Let me see. Let me, because I can't hear this thing. I got to get some new headphones. Go ahead, man. You say what?
Do you think Angel Reese's injury is legitimate?
Yeah, I think it's legitimate, but I don't think that is. I think she could play through it though. But I think that if she would have played through it, she would have definitely got injured again because this way she plays.
Yeah.
Shooter, and she get rebounds and then she falls down a lot because you know what I'm saying, the way she plays, and you got to brace yourself when you fall. I think she would hurt it again.
She wouldn't want to risk her rebound record by having a bad thumb and trying to play.
That's true.
Yeah, her average would take a hit because she would play less minutes. Realistically, she would just come off the bench, play like 5-10 minutes.
That's true.
Maybe they put her in garbage time so she doesn't have any real offense and she can, get what she deserves.
And then when they start winning, oof, you don't look so good.
We'll see. They've only won one game, but if they win this next game,
They got Carter.
And then that's on fire.
That other lady that was riding the bench looked pretty good in the clips I saw.
Oh, hell yeah.
She's got
Izzy Harrison.
She's got more than one tool.
Yeah, Izzy Harrison's got moves, man. Angel Reese don't have one move.
Damn shame.
A 16-year-old is charged with murder in a shooting that killed a Dallas ISD high school football player Friday. 17-year-old David Washington was shot and killed in the Redbird area of Dallas Friday night. Dallas ISD says he was a senior in the district. Fox 4's Amelia Jones live with the latest in the investigation. Amelia?
Blake, Dallas ISD says that 17-year-old David Washington was a senior here at Kimball High School. The district said he played on the football team. According to Dallas police, Friday night, following a Duncanville season opener win, there was a large gathering at the Love's gas station across the street from Kincaid Football Stadium on Polk Street. The Dallas ISD varsity football schedule shows that Duncanville played South Oak Cliff at the stadium on Friday night. Police say around 10:50 p.m., the group of people started following 17-year-old David Washington, and then a fight started. Someone pulled out a gun during the fight and shot Washington. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. On Saturday, Dallas police arrested a 16-year-old and charged them with murder. Dallas City Councilman for District 8, where the shooting happened, says he wants to create a safe zone for kids in that area.
I think right now I'm going to reach out to Chief Martinez and Chief Garcia and see how can we put a safe zone there, because football season going up, it's kind of getting out of hand right now. And when you lose a life there, you want to blame everyone, but let this be a lesson that how can we solve the problem going forward.
Well, what you say,
What kind
bro?
of reaction is that?
When you lose a life, you want to blame everyone. It was a sun reaction, man.
Sun logic.
You said it.
Wow. Lose a life, you want to blame everyone. That's where they get that the system failed them. We failed him. We failed the kid or whatever. Wow. Ugh.
Life there, you want to blame everyone, but let this be a lesson that how can we solve the problem going forward.
We don't have any information on if Washington went to the football game on Friday night. We also don't know if he knew anyone in the group of people following him. We don't have any information on the 16-year-old shooter since they're a juvenile. According to a community post on social media, there's a balloon release planned for Washington here at the high school on Monday night. Blake, back to you.
All right, Amelia, thanks.
Sad, man.
They're going to need to hire some security if they want to create a safe zone.
How does that
with
work?
Guns. I mean,
that's a tall task, man, to make a safe zone in Pakistan, man. You sure they not biting off more than they can chew? Yeah, man. Let's see what else is going on.
There is no safe zone. Every time they talk about building a new youth center or something like that, I just always envision it within, a very short period of time to being the last place your kid would be safe going.
Oh, yeah, very short period of time. Don't take long. Because,
because that's where they are.
They're the community. A good portion of the bad actors in the community are teens. So building a rec center doesn't really do anything.
It's like the light for the moths to come around.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what we got here back in DC, man?
You want a safe zone? Build a library.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight, we
No,
are
even those
following
aren't
breaking news as demonstrations continue to grow in D.C. days after a D.C. police officer involved shooting leads to the death of a violence interrupter.
Protest right now outside the 7th District Station. Fox 5's Nana Senyo Bonsu live on that scene tonight. Nana.
Guys, it is a very tense situation out here between DC police officers and protesters. They are protesting justice for Justin, the violence interrupter who was shot and killed in Southeast DC over a week ago. Just take a look at the scene right here. We have protesters on bikes, but look right over here. We have officers in riot gear. They've been going back and forth with these protesters, but since we've been here, we have noticed protesters throwing what seems to be eggs, broken glass, and different kinds of items at these officers who are here right now in riot gear. I thought something was happening really quickly. We did get a chance to speak to people earlier about why tensions are so high, why the emotions are so high. Go ahead.
Do you think that perhaps the family declined to have the body cam footage released because it would lead to more protesting?
They released it. They released it.
Oh, they did? So what happened to the family?
It is hard to watch, but tonight we're getting our first look at the body camera footage worn by police officers involved in the shooting that left a 26-year-old man dead.
Well, the family of Justin Robinson initially declined for that video to be made public, but they changed their mind. Fox 5's Nana Senyo Bonsu outside police headquarters tonight with the very latest. Nana.
Guys, the family of Justin Robinson, they changed their mind this past Saturday. They say they want the public to see the moment their son was shot and killed by two DC police officers who are now on administrative leave. Now, initially, the family's concern was that
before we get into this tragic shooting that they're about to show us, I just so I'm clear on which case. Is this the case of the violence interrupter who was sleeping with a gun in his hand?
Yes.
The violence interrupter with the gun.
Parts of
Okay,
this-
just so I'm clear. Okay, good.
Yep.
body camera footage would be redacted or edited out. But Chief Pamela Smith made clear tonight that they only redact certain parts by law. So this is faces of EMS fire personnel, bystanders, and witnesses. It's important to note that what you're about to watch or hear may be disturbing for some. This is video of a D.C. police officer responding to the McDonald's on Marion Barry Avenue on Sunday, September 1st, after a call came in about a crash around 5:30 in the morning.
The back window's down. I could reach in and unlock the door.
Police say the man in the car, Justin Robinson, was unconscious with a gun in his lap. An officer called for backup. They cleared the area of the drive-thru and then used their patrol cruisers to box in the car Justin Robinson was inside of. Chief Pamela Smith says as officers, including a supervisor who was on the scene, were strategizing how to respond, they noticed movement in the car.
Oh, we got movement.
Officers approached the driver's side of Robinson's white sedan.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Sorry, don't touch the gun!
And seconds later, 11 rounds were fired. 10 rounds from one officer and a single one from the second. In a different angle from the passenger side, you can see the shooting in slow motion.
The officer has his weapon in the window of the driver's side of the vehicle. The individual reaches up, he's grabbing the officer's weapon, and what you will see is there is an exchange of words, and the officer disengages, discharges his firearm, and what you will see is the individual's firearm that is dropped from his left hand onto his lap.
Robinson died on the scene. Since the shooting, the community, including members of Robinson's family, have been calling for justice, transparency, and questioning police use of force.
They came as if he had already committed a crime.
Chief Smith says any life lost is a tragedy. When asked if she thought if the shooting was justified, she says,
what I would like to be able to do is wait for the results of the investigation to come back in order to determine what the next steps will be.
Now, this case.
So was it everything you thought it would be?
deadly coverage.
I think you don't get much more transparent than this. This is the height of transparency.
I'm trying to see where. Yeah. There you go.
Hey,
Looks like it is.
How slowly?
When
But he
Sonia
didn't-
Massey, the body cam footage didn't mean shit. It was Sonia Massey, so like, why should it matter with this?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to find, you know, the way that they can win this. It's like there's a court of public opinion, and then there's the law. So they're trying to win the public opinion now.
Do we know? I didn't pay attention to it in real time, but the shooters, the cops themselves, were they both white or were they?
Look like DC. There's gonna be a lot of black. It looked like a black officer.
Yeah,
but I don't know who shot. Did the guy in the passenger window shot, or did the guy in the driver window shot? They said one shot 10 times, another shot 1 time. There's a lot of black officers in DC. Let's see.
This isn't gonna go.
Arm is safe out of the way. Hey, you have any other fire? Hands up! Hands
Got moving. Black shooting right there.
Movement. I got movement. Keep your hand off the gun. Sir.
Put your hands up.
Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Sir, don't touch the gun. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up.
Well, that was the white officer that shot him. This is this guy. Yeah, so that's
he's the 10 spot.
He said, "I'm gonna shoot you in the face too." He said the same thing he saw on the Massey officers.
I got movement. Sir, keep your hand off the gun. Sir.
Put your hands up.
Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Sir, don't touch the gun. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up.
They did say hands up like 20 times. So they got.
I heard
that.
it. Don't touch the gun.
Yeah, they got that a bunch of times, man. They got that for them. So.
Hands up.
Pretty sure I heard an N-word in there too.
Yeah, me too. When he grabs the gun, as soon as he grabbed the gun, he got shot. Wow.
During those 10 shots, you can hear the N-word just above the ring of the.
Yeah. They shot him 1 second after he touched the gun. 1 second. You know, they like to do stuff like that, like numbers. 1 second.
They approached him like he'd already done a crime, is what the woman said. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the guy that's asleep in a McDonald's with a smashed front end of his car and a gun in his lap. You're supposed to just go up and tap on his window. And is everything okay, sir?
Yeah, and the gun laws in DC are crazy. So having a gun is a crime unless you, you know, got it concealed or got a concealed carry, which is very hard to get.
No permit laws.
I mean, it's just very hard to get. Like, it's like they ever since like Reagan got shot, they made it to where like it's very hard to get a gun.
Do we know what time of night that was? When,
First at 4.
They shot him.
This was 5:30 in the morning.
It was 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
He was probably out interrupting violence and then stopped for something to eat.
Yeah, man. You know.
First at 4, you hear and see it all the time here on WUSA 9. People living in deplorable conditions, and they're desperate to have property owners and managers held accountable. Now, DC's Attorney General is suing what he calls a DC slumlord in Wards 7 and 8 and 4 other related property owners. Thank you for joining us. I'm Simone D'Alba. Our Leslie Moreno joins us live with more on this lawsuit. And Leslie, I understand you spoke to the Attorney General one-on-one. How bad are these conditions?
Midash.
Simone, the Attorney General says these are some of the most...
Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Make sure you support this channel, man. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're doing all you can, man.
Hey, real quick. Because I did step away for a second. You didn't go over the video of the of the guy yelling and screaming at city council, did you? About the Haitians?
I did that yesterday. Yeah, we did that
That was
yesterday.
yesterday. Okay.
Talking about goats and ducks and shit like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
Horrible conditions in our city. This lawsuit is all about holding these property managers accountable. The Office of D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab is suing the owners of these 2 apartment complexes and 4 other parties for extreme housing code violations. They're also accused of defrauding D.C.'s rapid rehousing program.
The defendants in this lawsuit are slumlords in the truest sense of the word. They are taking advantage of their tenants, they're taking advantage of their fellow investors, and they're taking advantage of our city.
In the 1600 block of W Street Southeast, a 32-unit apartment complex infested with mold, rats, roaches, spiders, and trash. Conditions so bad, inspectors deemed the building unfit for human occupancy.
Given how severe some of the conditions are, we've asked the court for an emergency order, an injunction to require the landlord to immediately make repairs so that people are safe immediately.
And in the 4000 block of Minnesota Avenue Southeast,
All the apartments look like this. Unlicensed electricians, wires everywhere.
an 83-unit apartment complex.
Horrendous. It's horrendous. No one, I guarantee you they wouldn't come here and live.
Mostly occupied by seniors.
We have no trash to put our trash in. The rodents are just running everywhere. And this is done to seniors.
How long have you lived there?
I've been there 5 years.
A week ago, this window was kicked in.
Ernest Wilkerson and many others have called this place home for years.
I have to come in here every day to check this because, you know, my lady, she's kind of like, you know, she don't do the mice thing. So
look at all those traps.
That means it's an infestation.
That might just be his collection, though. I don't know.
He got it going on, man.
You see, I have everything. No food is out.
Residents there living with rats, trash, broken windows, and missing walls. Inspectors deemed the building a threat to health.
Oh, shit. They got some men using blowguns out there, man. Ain't that some shit?
Yo.
Taking it back to the motherland.
Yo, you ain't
straight bullets and shit, straight blowgun bullets and shit. These motherfuckers can't hit you with shit. They can't aim no matter what the fuck the weapon is.
Missing walls. Inspectors deemed the building a threat to health, safety, and welfare of the community.
Every unit has trash.
The lawsuit alleges the owner neglected nearly all maintenance responsibilities and is engaged in dangerous illegal construction, and also ignored multiple stop work orders from DC's Department of Buildings.
I hope that someone sees this story and want to come and, you know, not rescue us, but just give us a helping hand.
Dick Gregory. I want to see the
And this
landlord.
lawsuit is demanding repairs be made right away. It's also demanding restitution for these residents and penalties for violating DC laws. Coming up at 6, I'll have more on this lawsuit, and we'll hear more from these residents living in these conditions and what they're doing to help each other. Simone?
The AG called some of these living conditions, quote, shocking to the conscience. And I think it's just deplorable, incredible to hear some of these conditions that they were living in. Leslie, thank you.
Man, it's like this should turn into a third world country.
Wow, look at this.
A woman is dead after police say she tried to intervene as her husband was being robbed. The fatal shooting happened late last night at an apartment in Chinatown. That's where Jenna DeAngelis joins us with more on what happened. Jenna.
Well, city neighbors we spoke with say everyone is shocked by what happened here. Police tell us the suspects followed the man into the building behind me, attempted to rob him, and then shot and killed his wife. Video from overnight shows investigators going in and out of the building located at 44 Market Street. The victim has been identified as 57-year-old Xingzhu Liu. Her husband told police he was followed into the building by 2 men.
And the perpetrator has been identified as a fucking Sun Man.
This is Asian hate, man.
Who rode the elevator with him to the 8th floor. They allegedly tried to rob him in the hallway. Police sources say his adult son buzzed his dad up and was waiting for him to get off the elevator. His wife heard the commotion, and police sources say that's when she came out of the apartment with the stick, and one of the suspects shot the wife in the face. We spoke with a neighbor who heard it unfold.
Let's just fight, and we've been shot, and then the people called for help. I didn't really open the door. I was really afraid for my life. Didn't know what was occurring. I thought the best thing that I could have done was call the police.
Police are looking for 2 suspects who were both wearing black ski masks. Sources say one was wearing a red and black hooded jacket and dark pants with a white stripe. The other wearing all black clothing with white sneakers. Police sources say the suspects got away with the husband's cell phone. It's not clear if they knew the man and why he was targeted. In Chinatown, Jenna DeAngelis, CBS News, New York.
Jenna, thank you.
I'm thinking he was targeted because he's Asian, but that could be just white supremacy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, man. And they probably didn't get any money. Here she is right here.
Now to the other news of the day and begin with a frightening and deadly attack. A mother shot and killed in front of her son and husband just steps from their front door. It happened late last night inside an apartment building on Market Street on the Lower East Side. The victim was in her apartment when she heard a commotion in the hallway. She and her son walked outside and saw 2 men trying to rob her husband. That is when one of the men shot and killed her. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is live on the Lower East Side. Much more on this very sad and very disturbing story, Stefan.
Well, Liz, the hallway and stairwell by the victim's apartment door is still covered in blood, signs of a prolonged struggle. The robbery victim, a retired Chinese restaurant worker. Police say he was followed upstairs by 2 men. His wife shot in her face and killed as she tried to defend her husband. Investigators hauling bags of evidence out of this Lower East Side condo building on Market Street overnight. The aftermath of a deadly botched robbery attempt that left a robbery victim's wife dead after she was shot in her face. Investigators say 57-year-old Ying Zhu Liu was killed in front of both her husband and her son. The gory scene still sitting outside the victim's next-door neighbor's door.
I heard something, I heard an altercation, but I wasn't really too sure. And, I was just fearing for my safety and safety of my roommates.
Signs of a struggle stretched down the hallway and into the building stairwell. Cops say 2 men followed their victim into his condo building, into the elevator, then up to the 8th floor. His wife heard the commotion in the hallway and, along with her son, tried to intervene. This neighbor says he heard it from a different floor. 1 gunshot. He thought it was a door slam. Then screams echoed through the stairwell.
Sort of loud shriek and then a lot of muffled yelling. So there seemed to be a struggle in the stairwell. You honestly couldn't tell. It sounded like some kind of commotion or panic, but and not one point did I think, this would be possible.
The suspects had to have followed their target into the building because there are not 1, but 2 locked doors in the lobby vestibule. There's also a security camera near the lobby, on the doorbell, and above the victim's door. It happened around 11:15 last night. The suspects fled the scene. This man is the husband's friend and co-worker. Speaking in Mandarin, he says the husband is a retired Chinese restaurant worker. The victim's son was struck hard, he says. His eyes are swollen. He says the victim's husband called him from the hospital, asking to bring him some clothes because he doesn't have family here. Immigrated to America about a decade ago.
It's unsettling and it's disturbing.
Something got to be done because now it's scaring me. I got kids upstairs. There's always incidents going on. A lady got hit she was attacked by bats around the corner. That made the news. So there's always something going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's really terrible.
Now that husband and son arrived home from the hospital just moments ago, they had no interest in speaking with the media. One thing to keep in mind, though, not only did they watch their wife and mother get shot and killed in front of them, it is still covered in blood upstairs. That is what they're arriving home to tonight. Right. Reporting live on the Lower East Side, Stefan Kim, Channel 7.
Yikes.
So they got security camera footage of the perps. I wonder when we're going to see that.
Man, geez.
You got to be pretty old if you're retiring.
From your breaking news and weather authority, this is 13 Wham News at 6.
We begin with an emotional day in court as a convicted felon charged in the fatal beating of a Rochester mother while her child was home comes face to face with the victim's family.
Head held high.
In court as a convicted felon charged in the fatal beating of a Rochester mother while her child was home comes face to face with the victim's family. Tensions running high as Walter Balcom Jr. faced a judge at the Hall of Justice. Good evening, I'm Karen Edwards. Matt is off. Balcom is accused of fatally beating his girlfriend, 43-year-old Melika Bruner, at a home on Hazelwood Terrace. Her child was also there and called 911. Balcom has an extensive criminal record and was recently accused of assaulting Bruner just a few months ago. 13 Wham's Natalie Calzatoni was in Rochester City Court this morning for the arraignment. Natalie.
Karen, police say Walter Balcom Jr. has 4 prior felony convictions and 7 prior misdemeanor convictions. Now he is charged with second-degree manslaughter in the death of Melika Bruner. The victim's family was in court this morning demanding justice. Emotions running high in Rochester City Court. 49-year-old Walter Balcom Jr. went before a judge Tuesday morning, arraigned on a charge of second-degree manslaughter in the beating death of 43-year-old Melika Bruner. Bruner's son, angered by the tragedy.
Just a coward. Like, you truly a coward. You truly a coward. I had a great relationship with my mother. That was my everything.
On August 27th, police responded to a home on Hazelwood Terrace after a child reported their mother was being assaulted by her boyfriend. Investigators say when officers arrived, Bruner was dead and Balcom had fled the scene. According to the criminal complaint, Balcom is accused of repeatedly hitting Bruner in the head and upper body with his fists, causing her death. Bruner's son describes his mother as loving and caring and says she did not deserve this.
She'd do anything for anybody, truly. You know, like, give her the shirt off her back.
In June, Balcom was
including this piece of shit. Including this piece of shit.
Arrested and charged with felony assault against Bruner. While those charges were pending, police say he was released from custody, placed on electronic monitoring, and issued a no-contact order of protection. 5 days before Bruner's death, Balcom's attorney argued during a pretrial hearing to have the electronic monitoring device removed, and the judge complied. Bruner's family and
crazy. That is crazy. This guy.
The son, man.
Balcom was arrested and
I'm telling you, man, they work the system. Hey man, see if you can get the judge take this pesky ankle monitor off, man. I got shit I gotta do, man. I ain't fucking with that bitch no more. I just need this all so I can do it. Go handle my business, man. All right, here goes the penny pinching lawyer. Sure. Well, I'll file a motion.
Charged with felony assault against Bruner. While those charges were pending, police say he was released from custody, placed on electronic monitoring, and issued a no-contact order of protection. 5 days before Bruner's death, Balcom's attorney argued during a pretrial hearing to have the electronic monitoring device removed, and the judge complied. Bruner's family and the assistant district attorney on the case seeking justice.
It's every prosecutor's nightmare. It's sad. No one wants to see an outcome like this.
My mom, I'm going to miss her every day of my life.
A not guilty plea was entered for Balcom, and he's being held on no bail, no release. He is awaiting counsel to be assigned, and a grand jury may consider additional charges. And for more information on domestic violence support, we have posted a link to 13wham.com.
Maybe this will hold him.
Yeah, maybe. Just maybe.
I'm just kind of amazed that this woman was murdered by her boyfriend, but why was she ever dating him? you know he's a criminal. You can see he's a murderer in his eyes. He's got felonies on his record, all of which I'm sure were pled down to something far less evil than they
Great to have you with us.
I'll say this. We don't know what she was. We're acting like she was some angel. She might have been a street person too. And he might have been her perfect counterpart.
Perhaps, yeah.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. We begin with the search for the gunman who shot and killed a 42-year-old mother as she drove to her home in Portage Friday night.
Her family tells us Kia Tidwell was on the phone with one of her children when she was shot and then crashed into a tree. Our Darius Johnson is in Gary, where an emotional news conference just wrapped up.
This was one of the most gut-wrenching news conferences I've ever attended. It was full of emotion, and that's because the person whose life was taken was loved by all. Inside the Gary Police Department is a room filled with emotion.
Today we mourn the loss of Kia Tidwell, whose life was cut far too short.
These are the loved ones of 42-year-old Kia Tidwell, a mother of 6, a grandmother, sister, and daughter to Charlotte Tidwell.
My daughter turned the corner on Grassy, make a left, heading to Portage so she can go home and cook. She didn't make it there.
This was around 8 Friday night. At the same time, Gary police say they were called to this McDonald's on West 5th Avenue and Grant Street for a disturbance. Upon arrival, shots rang out across the street. Tidwell was driving by on the phone with her oldest daughter.
And the last words she heard her mama say, she was calling on the name of Jesus.
Just driving by a McDonald's in Blackistan. What is it with McDonald's is in Blackistan? But just driving by on the phone with your kid, got nothing to do with nothing, ain't involved in the shit in no way, shape, or form.
I think it's kind of like the rec center situation where it's like, well, this is kind of where you're going to see sons converging. So this dramatically increases the odds of something like this happening.
Yeah, definitely. Son's gonna go to McDonald's. But different with the rec center is that they're there to stay. McDonald's, you're just there to pick up your food and go. But even that, just having them boom, 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 sticking and moving in a place
that's a flare point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a hot spot. It's like it's like moths to a flame, like you said. Wow.
But I think it's like, as you've said, it's like the more concentrated that element is, the greater the odds that you're just going to have this stuff. It's just part of the community.
Yeah, you're going to see like guys are going to bump heads. Like whenever you have a place with sun men, want to see other sun men that are streets or tough. Like for instance, man, listen, you don't have a lot of sun men don't have to be tough, man, to kill you. Like every sun man most of these sun men that do this stuff, I mean, a lot of them are not like King Vaughn and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like straight G's and shit. A lot of sun men, they're just regular sun men. As you know, everything's relative. But you know what I'm saying? End up killing people and getting licenses. That could have happened to me, man. Easily, man. Like it can happen to any sun man. Some men are so disrespectful and they are so boisterous and braggadocious and machismo. There's so much machismo in sun man culture that you're gonna want to kill somebody sometimes, man. You're gonna want to kill somebody. That's just how it is. And if you're riding around with a gun, like if you're a son and you actually have a gun, like on you, like you're definitely gonna probably kill somebody. Because some men start shit. Some men act tough all the time.
And if you can kill somebody and get a Happy Meal in the same stop, well, that's a good day. Hey, Wicked's in the bag, by the way.
Oh, good. You know about this, Wicked?
No. What I missed was new, or was new is
Oh, this
old,
is
right?
Gary anyway. This is Gary,
Yeah,
Indiana.
yeah. It's only a mother of six, whatever. Yo, Son Man machismo is weird though, like, cause yeah, it's tough, but they act like such little girls, bro.
Yeah, it is true. It is a feminine element to it. But here's the thing though, like it makes the other person want to kill you.
Oh, 100%. Like I think I told you before. I told you before. I act like, and I hate to say. I mean, it doesn't make me feel good to say it, but a lot of these dudes, they're to be killed, dog.
Yeah,
But just because they're like, what if they should? They're like habitual line steppers. They'll try you.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing with some men. Like I think a lot of gliders don't understand like being like just at a gas station or being at a store and somebody you've never seen in your life trying to play tough with you just out of the blue. You know what
We
I'm saying?
see
Like,
it.
I don't know. Do gliders, do y'all have to go through that?
Not in that fashion. No.
But but it's like trying to play tough with you,
No.
like like a violent, possibly fatal manner. You know what I mean? Like
No, it's primitive behavior, man.
I'm in your space audaciously, and I will kill you, kind of deal. You know?
Yeah, like he'll kill you too. That's the thing. That's the other
Yeah.
thing.
I
Like
heard you too.
he'll start some shit with you, like maybe even not even big shit, like petty shit. Like might cut in front of you in line, obviously, or might look at you hard, like you know what I'm saying, in a manner
Yeah,
like, like fuck you with my eyes. Like instead of
yeah,
saying fuck you with my mouth, if I could say fuck you, I'd kill you right now, bitch ass nigga, with my eyes. That's what they're saying. And it's a
yeah.
language that some men know. Like, so you see that, and it's like, damn. It's
You
like,
know,
what I do? What the fuck did I do?
yeah. I've heard it called here. I remember that one glider with the Ebonics book. I've heard it called here, pulling your whole card.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pull your whole card. You know what I mean? And if he pulls your whole card, and people know that your whole card was pulled, it's over.
yeah, yeah. It's like, and your reputation is on the line constantly too, especially if you a sudden man in that life. Like you gotta guard that shit 24/7 because um no matter what you've done in the past, the next interaction with sons is your shit is all your chips are pushed to the center of the table.
Yeah,
Um,
and think about what you just said. Um, when you consider it's like a group that is almost always pulling your card. You know?
yeah, yeah, definitely. And also I will say this too. Like there's a lot of trauma. Like, we talk about DNA and shit, and that is definitely a part of it,
Yeah.
as you know. But also the trauma of growing up around sons, like having to eat a lot of shit. And sometimes you get in a situation where like somebody may try to make you eat shit and you snap. Or that's the time you tired of eating shit. Because even the toughest sunmen have to eat shit. You know what I'm saying? From other sunmen, man. The reason like just to use King Von because we were talking about Chicago, the reason King Von killed a lot of people is because people were killing his friends. They know that's your friend, they'll kill him. But it's King Von's friend. So what? Somebody will kill his friend or somebody will shoot up his block. Like he was getting victimized too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no matter how bad you are in Blackistan, like we don't have shot callers. We don't have like bosses and shit. Anybody can get it, and anybody can do it to you. Salute to Doug Chunks, man. Arc Nation Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore. Coming through once again. He says, still working and lurking. Here as usual. Salute to the folks that stick around for the entire show. Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. Doug
but
Chunks
this
gifted 50 Arc Nation memberships. That's big.
hats
Doug
off to him.
comes through, man, and he comes through and he like matches the whole nation, man. That shit is crazy. He comes through and man. Salute to all the nation too, man.
Salute Doug, man. He gave me my membership.
Yeah. He's an insightful guy too. He's a valued person in this community, right? Doug Chunks. But this headline here, this is a heavy headline. Is this what Tyreek Hill meant when he said we need change? We need change, man.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. Tyreek would never ask for this to be changed.
2-year-old mother as she drove to her home in Portage Friday night.
Her family tells us Kia Tidwell was on the phone with one of her children when she was shot and then crashed into a tree. Our Darius Johnson is in Gary, where an emotional news conference just wrapped up.
This was one of the most gut-wrenching news conferences I've ever attended. It was full of emotion, and that's because the person whose life was taken was loved by all. Inside the Gary Police Department is a room filled with emotion.
Today we mourn the loss of Kia Tidwell, whose life was cut far too short.
These are the loved ones of 42-year-old Kia Tidwell, a mother of 6, a grandmother, sister, and daughter to Charlotte Tidwell.
My daughter turned the corner on Gracie, make a left, heading to Portage so she can go home and cook. She didn't make it there.
This was around 8 Friday night. At the same time, Gary police say they were called to this McDonald's on West 5th Avenue and Grant Street for a disturbance. Upon arrival, shots rang out across the street. Tidwell was driving by on the phone with her oldest daughter.
And the last words she heard her mama say, she was calling on the name of Jesus.
Tidwell was shot in the head and hit a tree. Her mother immediately went to the scene.
When I saw a truck, I went up and opened it, and one of the officers said it was a crime scene. I'm thinking an accident can't be a crime scene.
Her 9 siblings are present while leaning on faith to share who their sister was.
It was 10 of us. She always had on her license plate, I'm number 8.
Think about how awesome that is, though. Like how blessed his family is to have 10 kids and they all were alive up until yesterday.
Wow, that's actually a very interesting point you just made. Wow.
I wonder where they lived.
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, it's like a pretty sunny area, city.
Yeah, I hear it has a bad reputation.
Well, I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a suburb of Chicago, right?
Michael Jackson's hometown.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a suburb of Chicago necessarily. You know, it's in Indiana. It's like it's a good drive. You know, it's not far as hell either, but it's not
like an hour.
Yeah, maybe about that or so, give or take. I've gone through it like a couple times recently. I came out every single time depressed. Every time I passed through.
It used to smell really bad. I don't know if it still does anymore, but the steel mills there made the whole town smell bad.
And what a sad headline, man. It just you made a good point. I think it was yesterday, when you said, you know, these dudes are doing this with all the policing there is now. And this group is demanding less policing. Imagine what that would look like, dude. How violent.
They're asking for whenever they have an interaction with a cop that they don't have to comply with the cop's orders because of what happened to Tyreek Hill. Like the biggest story, one of the biggest stories in the country now is one of them who makes $30 million a year.
Who's a terrible person.
Like this Tyreek Hill situation is he's $30 million a year and he still acts like a goddamn
I was thinking that.
A common thug.
Yeah, it kind of puts that whole poverty, you know, thing into question because he was acting like I get no money, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. and then the hombredos that everyone's blaming white people, and the cops were hombredos.
Right.
And
They barely spoke English.
yeah,
Burritos do it too.
yeah, and it's just crazy, man.
Faith to share who their sister was.
It was 10 of us. She always had on her license plate, I'm number 8, because she was number 8.
She was minding her own business, heading home.
Now this family is left trying to ensure their loved one's death wasn't in vain.
I'm sad that it was my sister, but if this is what it takes to turn this around, so be it.
Right now, the biggest struggle for this family is telling that 4-year-old daughter that she won't see mommy again. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Gary Police Department.
That's the case with all these stories. Like, that's all we do.
Right. It goes back to the point you made, Ak, about, trauma growing up in the stand. This is one of the elements of that,
Yeah, that's all we do is stories of parents getting fucking murked over bullshit.
Right, over nothing. I wonder, I missed the beginning. Was it like a, road rage, or was it like, do you know?
No, she was driving down the street. Some dudes got to shooting at the McDonald's, and one of the stray bullets hit her when she was driving down the street.
Also, you know what? That's been going on a lot here recently. I mean, I know it happens. I know it's Chicago, but they've been shooting a lot of sisters here recently, more than usual. Right? The sisters can't catch a break over here right now.
Right. And they're used to it because they're not complaining about that. That's not one of their election year talking points.
One more reason.
Wow.
One more reason to divest.
Yeah, they should go to a neighborhood where your guy neighborhood, Fields. Up the neighborhood, upgrade the neighborhood a little bit.
Yeah, with their teen sons and shit. Yeah,
with the road.
Developing here at 4:30, it is a disturbing crime that took place outside of Michael Jackson's childhood home in Gary.
A teenager and her father stopped by just to take some pictures at the home, but that's when things went horribly wrong. They say they were kidnapped and assaulted. NBC5's Regina Waldron reports from Gary that the incident has led to some serious discussions about safety at this popular tourist attraction.
Some call it the crown jewel of Gary, Indiana, a quaint 2-bedroom home at 2300 Jackson Street.
People have come to visit that house since the Jacksons first emerged as youngsters.
The Jackson family keeps this house groomed and clean.
This is Michael Jackson's childhood home, a tourist attraction for his fans.
Well, I think
a 2-bedroom, and they had what? Latoya, Reba, Janet.
They're like 9, I think.
There was at least 5.
9. Yeah, 9 of them. Yeah, in the 2-bedroom. Wow.
Born with his music,
including this family visiting from the Dominican Republic.
It was a worldwide thing before internet.
But a few days ago, a heart-stopping crime outside the Jackson home. A 16-year-old girl and her father told police they were taking pictures when a man approached with a gun, demanded money, kidnapped them, and assaulted the girl. 69-year-old Osiah Barnes now charged with 17 felonies. Antoine Moore.
How do we figure that it was him, man?
An old one. That's interesting, though, right? Look how old this guy is. Father time.
You live longer in Gary. Everybody seems to be making it to a ripe old age.
Yeah, man.
Wow. I would have never guessed it was an older son, man. I would have guessed a younger one.
He looked like he was a victim of a burn, man. Serious burn.
Maybe the kids at the camp.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I cannot imagine, and teach his own, right? But I cannot imagine wanting to go to some celebrity's house. Never. Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I want to see Michael Jackson's house? If in front of the art of all places. Teach his own.
In that guy's defense, looking at him, as we all noticed, what other chance does he have of ever getting laid?
That's true.
In his defense.
That's true. Well, I mean, there's always prostitution and shit.
Right. I was gonna say.
But that's a privilege. That takes currency and income, and if we could get him a prostitute, maybe this would have been prevented.
I mean, he for sure has a lot of kids, though. I mean, don't knock him too hard,
Yeah, let's see.
Inside the Jackson home, A 16-year-old girl and her father told police they were taking pictures when a man approached with a gun, demanded money, kidnapped them, and assaulted the girl. 69-year-old Osiah Barnes now charged with 17 felonies. Antoine Moreland lives across the street.
Then it happened broad daylight. That was really sad.
Michael here, that's Marlon.
Chuck Hughes is president of the Gary Chamber of Commerce. He calls the crime disappointing and shocking.
There has never been an incident, not even remotely similar to that.
And some are talking about added security at the home, including security guards and security cameras.
That incident has alerted not only the community, but I think it's also alerted authorities, the administration, and knowing the city of Gary like I know Gary, they're going to be proactive.
Hughes and others say what happened here is not the norm. They say the Jackson home is an important landmark for Gary, one that they want fans to keep coming to. NBC5 reached out to the Jackson estate, but did not hear back. A statewide preservation group is trying to get the home designated as a National Historical Landmark.
Good, man.
In Gary, I'm Regina Walters.
Yeah, man. Why not, man? Michael Jackson was the biggest.
Yeah, he was.
The biggest singer. They're now trying to say Chris Brown is, but I'd be like,
hell no.
You be hearing people say stupid shit like that?
Nah,
like, Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson. I'm like, what?
That's crazy. I never. Yeah, I don't know.
No, they say that they a lot. That you'll hear that a lot. It's almost like the Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I could see. Beyonce maybe. Beyonce's pretty huge right now too, but still, the Michael Jackson was.
It is so traumatic, and you feel like
but
you're
we
dying.
failed that old man. Huh?
Oh my God,
we failed them. That old man, we failed them.
Yeah, definitely, man. Feel bad. I'm torn up about
Programs. You know, some programs. Some money. It's fuck. He's doing some money. Like the migrants.
Yeah, man.
At least his job hasn't been taken by a migrant yet.
Or he's like robbing people?
Yeah, and
Well,
molesting
the
people.
migrants, they're probably, I'm pretty sure they're robbing people. The migrants.
But he combined it with a sexual assault as well.
I'm sure we know that they're assaulting people too, though. The migrants.
So he's holding it down until he's gonna be the last of his kind.
He's hanging in there. Oh no, sir. The Sunman's gonna be doing their thing no matter what, brother.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Great replacement.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask you a question about your. I feel like you evolved on an issue, right? So when the migrants started coming here, me and you agreed, but I feel like maybe you evolved. Do you think that the migrants are gonna? We used to believe. I believe that if you put migrants in a Hispanic neighborhood, crime would be considered like similar. If you put them in a glider neighborhood, it's gonna decrease. If you put them in a Sunman neighborhood, it's gonna decrease. Gliders increase, Sunman decrease. Do you think that they're gonna commit more crime than the brothers?
No.
The Hispanics? You don't think
No.
that? Okay.
I think the migrants. What I think about the migrants and crime is that we already have a test. Like we got MS-13, right?
Yeah.
Like in the DC area, like we have a huge MS-13 presence out there, man. And they're there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they've been there for a long time. And they are like allegedly notorious. Like everyone's talking about like how like you hear like, damn man, MS-13 they don't play MS-13, and then they have a lot of stories in the news like when they do shit the way they do it.
Yeah,
it's very newsworthy, right?
It's very
I
gruesome.
think that they worship Satan.
Yeah, but look at the DC gunman war. There's no evidence of them here. Like, oh damn, you got a couple on burritos. Wow, damn, you didn't used to see this. Who's this? Munoz Romero. Wow.
Who killed them though? You know?
Nah, they're not saying. It doesn't say in the story, but
because that 38-year-old burrito, he didn't look like he was on shit. You know what I mean? He looked kind of. I mean, he could have been a killer, right? I don't know.
Nah. He probably got killed by some man. Mostly everybody in here got killed by some man. But what I'm saying is that like for MS-13 to have such a notorious
reputation and a violent reputation.
I think to see some of their victims, we'd have to check the Chainsaw and Machete Memorial.
Yeah, true indeed. Yeah, they kill other ways. That's true, but they also do use guns too.
But even then, even then, the rate of that is not gonna be as much as you. It's gonna be too much. I don't think.
The gun memorial makes me think that the real number is closer to 75 to 80%.
What do you mean?
With the homicides.
What do you think it was before?
Sons. I think they say it's 60.
Oh,
it's
no,
between 60 and 70.
1350. You mean 1350?
Yeah, but you showed the recent data, like the most recent ones they finally admitted to.
Yeah.
It went up. It went up.
This is a place where MS-13 is supposed to be,
Right.
and it's just like his sons, man.
Right. And the reason I asked you, Ike, is because I've noticed, and I could be wrong, right? But and rightfully so, you've been kind of surprised, maybe, or like intrigued by the brutal crime that from this new wave. But yeah, I agree with you. I still don't think that they're gonna surpass.
See, my thing is like this, right? Okay, the opportunities here in the U.S. are so great for people like them. Like the way y'all operate, the way y'all DNA is, y'all are doozers, y'all.
We rather work.
Natural workers, right? It's in your
we rather work.
There's so much. Like when I went to, like I told you, I went to a restaurant, nice restaurant, Charlie Palmer, in DC Steakhouse when I was in DC last time, and I had my wedding reception there, and the staff there was just mixed sons, whites, they just Americans, you know what I'm saying? For my wedding reception. Last time I went, last month, man. I mean, I shit you not, like the hostess was a black girl, and that's the only black person we saw in there. And the bartender was an Asian woman. That was the only Asian we saw in there. And I think there was maybe a couple whites, but the kitchen, the bus boys, the waiters, all on Burrito men, not even women. On Burrito men.
When I was a kid, I used to be I used to be a caterer at weddings, like the server. When I was like 14, 15, when I was a little kid, the gliders, because there used to be many like glider weddings, right? They're grown like grandparents or whatever. They used to look at. I remember they used to look at me stunned, like, "Wow, you're so young and you're working." Like, yeah, I mean, says, what are you gonna do? You work,
Yeah, so I think because of that, they take advantage of so many other opportunities here.
Yeah,
I think
that so too.
They're gonna make less crime.
I think us, like that's what I would say too. Like on Burrito Man, I think we rather work, right? But if we don't have that option, then we don't have a problem engaging in criminal activity either, and we'll do this shit too,
Yo, what the fuck?
Welcome back. 40 years after a horrific shaken baby case devastated a Hollywood family, the child's babysitter pleaded guilty to manslaughter and will go to prison. The woman responsible is now 62 years old and finally admitted what happened in court today. NBC6's Marissa Bagg was there for the emotional hearing. Marissa?
Jackie, Benjamin Dowling was just 6 months old when he was struck and violently shaken by his then babysitter, Terry McCurchie. Benjamin lived to be 35, although he was never able to walk, talk, or even eat on his own. He died in 2019, and now McCurchie will go to prison for what happened.
but also the Dowling family.
40 years of suffering came to a head in a Fort Lauderdale courtroom Wednesday as a heartbreaking shaken baby case came to a close. 62-year-old Terry McCurchie will spend 3 years in prison for a 1984 crime that left then 6-month-old Benjamin Dowling paralyzed for life. For the first time ever, McCurchie...
What? Just doesn't feel right. That she's been, you know what I'm saying?
3 years.
She's been living free all this time, and then she goes 3 years for that.
Old Benjamin Dowling paralyzed for life. For the first time ever, McCurchie admitted to what she did.
First time ever. It's 40 years later. We are pleased that this day is over, but we'll always remember Benjamin.
Benjamin died in 2019, 35 years after McCurchie struck and shook him while she cared for him in her Hollywood home. McCurchie served a couple months in jail at the time for aggravated child abuse, but when an autopsy showed Benjamin died decades later from the very injuries he suffered at her hand, she was charged with murder. McCurchie's best friend cried in court over Zoom, recalling what happened.
Terry, you knew what you did. You knew. And you let those poor parents bring their beautiful son back to you. And then you did it again.
The family showed a 25-minute video tribute of Benjamin's life and described him as a loving, joyful person who inspired the family. They said today was about getting Benjamin justice and holding McCurchie accountable regardless of decades past. As for her apology,
I think it probably, from what I understand, I think it probably was sincere. Again, all of our focus was always on Benjamin,
Sure
and
about
will
that?
continue to be. And she will
White
have to
people
live
are
with
good.
this.
Yeah, but white people are different though. Like they're like good and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Look good. Sound good.
We'll have to look for this one.
it's man.
You can't blame Sunman for this one.
I'm telling you, this is a rough one, Jack. Oh man.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I don't know what I would do. You know, I don't know how I would react.
Man, that's a rough one, man. That is a tough one right there, man. Woo.
I mean, I can't say I wouldn't, delete her. I don't know. I don't
Right.
think I would. I don't think I would, but I don't know. That's tough.
Prison's going to be tough for her.
You think so? I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah, she should be all right. Man.
Then they're not gonna put her anywhere where the sisters are gonna really hurt her. You know, I wouldn't think anyway.
At least her victim was white.
That was a tough one, man.
Yeah, but if that kid was POC, then they wouldn't have tried to marry though. You know how they like to bring it back to them, right? It's nothing to do with them, and they still like to make it about them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man. On that note, man. Great show, guys. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here.
Doses.